Legacy foundations which were involved in the conception stages of the national dialogue were due to meet today to figure out their next steps regarding the process. However, that meeting has since been postponed after the National Dialogue Eminent Persons Group invited them for a Clear the Air meeting. Executive Director of the F.W. de Klerk Foundation, Christoph van der Rede.
It's important that the legacy foundations remain committed to the national dialogue process. But this process must be properly planned, because it's one thing to express your frustrations, your anger, or your wishes, but it's another for those things that you would want to happen in the country to become a reality.
The foundation say they will consider their next steps after the meeting with the Eminent Persons Group. Thabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
The family of a teenager killed after she was run over by a car during a traditional ceremony in June has slammed what they say is the slow progress of the case. 13-year-old Priti Mahlangu died in hospital after she was hit by a car during a traditional coming-of-age ceremony in Germiston in Ekurhuleni. Today, the case against the driver of the car, 68-year-old Martha van der Walt, was postponed for further investigations. Van der Walt was granted 5,000 rand bail, which has been extended by the Germiston Magistrates Court. Spokesperson for the Mahlangu family, Mzwandile Soyaya, says they are fighting for the charge to be changed from culpable homicide to murder.
Today, we were hoping that maybe the magistrate would tell us that maybe they are changing the charge from culpable homicide to murder. But unfortunately, it was a matter of tussling between the defendant's attorney as well as the state in terms of allowing the media to come in. A lawyer was stating that this thing has been spinned another way by the media. That's not what we were here for.
In other news, the embattled Mfuleni local municipality has struck a deal with Rand Water, resulting in a payment of 660 million rand towards its outstanding debt. Previously, Rand Water attached the municipality's bank accounts after it failed to settle its 1.7 billion rand bill. As a result of the attachment, the cash-strapped municipality was unable to pay for some services for 2 months. Alfara Mushwana has more.
The Mfuleni local municipality has established a special purpose vehicle which will allow Rand Water to manage the municipality's water and sanitation services. This means once the new entity is up and running, Mfuleni residents will have to pay their water bills directly to the bulk water supplier. Mfuleni Finance MMC Hassan Mako says the remaining debt to Rand Water will be transferred to the newly formed special purpose vehicle.
1.3 billion will be reinvested into the new entity. However, that does not mean that we must not pay our monthly account. The special purpose vehicle will mainly deal with our infrastructure and sanitation issues.
Mfuleni has also reached an agreement with Eskom, which has taken over the municipality's electricity services. This follows the municipality's failure to collect revenue for electricity and pay the power utility. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
Another sector, Education and Training Authority political fallout is brewing. This follows Higher Education Minister Buti Manamela's appointment of administrators to help to turn around the struggling seaters. The DA is now accusing Manamela of appointing ANC-aligned individuals, much like his predecessor Nobuhle Nkabane, who was removed as minister following the board appointment debacle. Babalondenze has more.
Buti Manamela hasn't wasted much time as minister by appointing Majema Soha, Obangoane, and Zukile Mvalo to the services, construction, and local government seaters, respectively. The appointments also come not too long after seater board appointments had to be abandoned under former Minister Nobuhle Nkabane, following an outcry that the appointees were too close to the ANC. DA spokesperson Karabo Khachau listed their reasons for opposing the appointments.
The appointments are of Opangwane, who's a former municipal manager at the Mfuleni local municipality, who's implicated in a forensic report detailing 872 million rands at the Mfuleni local municipality. The second person is Lefanola Masocha, who's not only a former ANC MEC but a deputy speaker.
She says they've written an urgent letter to Manamela to demand his reconsideration of the appointments and the withdrawal of his announcement. Baba Londenza, Eyewitness News.
And French police are investigating the death of a man during a live stream. Raphael Graven, known for taking part in extreme online challenges, was found dead on Sunday. Viewers of the 46-year-old's last live stream on the platform Kick had reportedly become concerned about him when he was seen lying lifeless on a mattress. Graven had more than 1 million followers across all social media platforms. Gold is trading at $3,338.66 an ounce. The rand is at 17.68 to the dollar, 23.85 to the pound, 20.63 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $65.79 a barrel.
Well, at this stage, if you're driving through the Joburg CBD heading towards Boysons, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is on the M1 southbound between Killarney Bends and the Crown Interchange, while if you're in the Alex area heading towards Germiston, traffic is also sluggish. N3 southbound between Marlborough Drive and Modderfontein Road.
In your sport, Ben Youssef demands more from Kaizer Chiefs after their strong start to the season. Alexander Isak breaks his silence to declare he can't continue at Newcastle United. And the Springboks to play Japan at Wembley.
It's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 25 and 26 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, the Eminent Persons Group to lead the national dialogue has extended an olive branch to legacy foundations who pulled out of the process.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7.
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
Great to be with you again. Welcome to 702. My name is Thabo Shola Mashao. I'm in for John Perlman. We're together till 6. I hope you'll be in for the rest of the ride because we've prepared the very best for you. A couple of things to consider. You're on 702, 8 minutes after 3 o'clock. A couple of things that we'll be chatting about include looking at the Eminent Persons Group that reaches out to the legacy foundations that had some doubts about the national dialogue. You'd remember that there were some legacy foundations that did not want to participate in the first phase or the conventional stage of the dialogues, and they opted to watch from the sidelines. And it appears as if they are being persuaded to rethink and gather their thoughts again, and an olive branch, as we've heard Mbali in Eyewitness News reading, that they have been persuaded to come back again to the drawing table. It leaves quite a lot to think about. I want to hear from you whether those legacy foundations will make a difference if they're inside or outside. Often an opposing voice is much better because it stops all of us to think with a sense of sobriety on the issues. Then the Madlanga Commission to begin on the 1st of September in Pretoria. EWN's Oren Singh will be in studio. The reported EWN Oren Singh will give us a bit of insight about what's the latest on the Madlanga Commission. Understanding the Mosey on the World Mosquito Day, and Dr. Ashley Begg will be joining us, who will speak about mosquitoes and their role in the ecosystem, because today is World Mosquito Day. I'm not sure if a lot of people are excited about that, but nonetheless we'll touch on that a little bit later on. And the United States, as you might have heard, it's seeking clarity on South Africa's Iran stance. You'd think they've already made up their mind. They just are looking for us to come through and trap ourselves with our words, aren't they? But we'll see about that. Karen Mon, legal journalist, is going to speak to us a little bit later on regarding a story she wrote that the judge has granted Fikile Mbalula, the African National Congress Secretary General, a gag order against, Fikile Mbalula won the gag order against Anele Mda. Anele apparently was posting on Twitter about defamatory statements, especially on the Botswana case, which I would not want to repeat. But nonetheless, we'll touch on that. And we want to understand, where is the line when people truly post whatever it is that they want to post about you, about me? Is it free for all, or should it be a little bit of a concern for us that even in a democracy, the rights must be paired with responsibilities? 11 minutes after 3 o'clock. Welcome.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
702 indeed. The rest of the team is here. Garabo Jali will tell us what's the latest on our roads, and he's in studio with us. Garabo, the other Garabo, is also here. She is a technical producer. She's making all of us sound brilliant with many screens and buttons in front of her. She understands all of that, and I don't. And that's why she's doing what she's doing. And of course, Mbali Dlamini will give us eyewitness news as and when they happen. So you're in good company. We'll get the very latest every now and then. On the sporting desk, Twalagele Mganga will also keep us updated regarding everything that has got to do with sports. The big chefs for this show, people who put it together behind the scenes, Jonathan Furban Kabazela is here as well as Rifue. Speaking of which, he's sitting right in front of me. You good, Jono?
I'm good, Tubbs. How are you?
Chilling, bro, and taking it very easy. Couple of things to think about. Garabo, you also fine, man?
I'm all good in the hood.
Why do you pretend to be busy when I'm talking to you? Because you're just typing away, pretending you don't care about the show. You're just focused on your job traffic. What's that all about, bro?
I'm glad the bosses are listening that I'm actually doing some work.
For a change. No, I'm just pulling your leg. So on a very serious note, Jonah, we were talking about in your relationship, what is the pet name that you are called by? And you really hate, or maybe at the beginning of your relationship, your partner used a pet name and you dismissed it. You said, man, don't call me with that. Because, other people are called sweetie, other are called babe, other are called love, this and that. You know, the pet name that you really dismissed and you rejected when your partner called you with that.
Afternoon, Tubbs, and afternoon to the 702 family. So I think pet names are lovely things in relationships.
Yeah.
But they got to come organically, you know. Okay. And there's got to be a pet name that maybe is because of something that happened, a situation or whatever it may be. So I had one sort of request with my missus, my fiance. And I said to her, do not call me babe or baby.
Hey, Batu.
Hey, baby.
Why? That is so sweet. You don't want to be called babe.
Yeah, I cringe. Every time I hear it, I cringe.
But why?
Because I think it's lazy. I think it's got a lazy thing to call somebody.
It sounds generic.
It's so generic. How many other people have you called babe, my baby, or my babe?
Is that the real reason? Because perhaps the ex was called babe, and you don't want to be called the same. You wanted to
I don't even know what she would have called her ex.
Yeah. It's not stuff that you talk about.
I didn't really find that out. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
What did you
call him? Well, you better not call me that. So I think if you can come up with some a nice sort of special name for that somebody in your life, it's great.
Peculiar name for Jono.
Yeah.
Right? Not just babe, not sweetie, not love.
My angel.
Yeah.
Are you my angel?
You don't want that.
No.
So what do they call you? Just for reference purposes.
So my missus doesn't really have a
pet name
for me.
Yeah.
Okay. But I got one for her.
Okay, let's hear it.
Really,
you brought it up.
Really
I didn't dig it out. You brought it up.
Come on, Jono.
Come on, Jono.
You didn't ask me, so yeah.
Come on, bro. Just
I'll
let
tell
us
you
know.
mine.
What is yours?
Yeah.
I call my bebeza Momo. My Momo.
Oh wow, I call my bebeza Momo.
Yeah, Momo Waka.
Momo Waka. Oh, Momo. That's so sweet.
The guy, you like almost
I'm
blushing.
even blushing.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm 100% with Jono. The babe, baby, sweetie. I.
You don't want that.
I don't like it at all.
Guys, I mean, people care for babies. It means that you are sensitive, you are fragile in their hearts, and they hold you very close. They want to take care of you as much as we take care of babies. That's the intention behind Babe.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
But I've got a son. Why didn't
yeah.
look up to him?
And I mean, you say that, I saw on TikTok not too long ago, there was a video making rounds, and there was this elderly gentleman who was saying that when you call your partner babe, it means that you are demeaning them, you are disrespecting them, and it will set the tone for a relationship where there's an adult and a child. And so that's how, and he said you should never ever allow anyone to call you babe. So if anyone calls you babe, now you know why.
Oh, thanks for that.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to hear from you. Any names, pet names that you have rejected from your partner and you thought they were too generic, like Jonah has said, please let us know. Names that you don't want your partner to call you by. Babe, angel, sweetie. Which ones do you prefer? More organic one like Momo for Karabo? Let us know on 072-702-1702. That's where you can send your voice notes and your text messages. If you'd like to call us, feel free also to do so on 011-883-0702. At 16 minutes after 3 o'clock, how's traffic looking, Mr. Jali? Is it starting to warm up? Is it getting a little bit busier?
Yes, indeed, Thabo. At this stage, if you're traveling through the Joburg CBD Parktown area heading towards Boysons, already bumper-to-bumper traffic. M1 southbound between Killarney Bends and the Crown Interchange in Devland Roadwork still slowing down traffic. On the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue, otherwise the rest of 702 lane not looking too bad. No serious accidents have been reported at this hour on our highways. Just look out for those faulty traffic lights though in the Edenvale area at Modderfontein Road and Van Riebeek, as well as in Midrand at Olifantsfontein Road and the N1. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
On our healing hour this morning, we are healing from divorce. How are you healing from that?
Hi, Clement. I'm struck by the fact that so many men are phoning in. I wanted to say kudos to the women and the moms who do not use the children as pawns in a divorce or in a separation. I've been dating somebody whose ex-wife is a wonderful woman who has just been so upright and open to me and the relationship I have with their son. And I encourage every mother in that situation to be the bigger person, as painful as it is.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Feel the exhilarating power and performance. Feel the anticipation of a new adventure around every corner. Feel the breathtaking wonder of Mzansi's epic scenery. Feel the luxe vibes and the good times. Feel it all and more with the Ultimate Shell V-Power VIP experience. Spend 750 rands 3 times this month and tap your V Plus rewards card for a chance to win one of 5 epic road trip and track experiences for 2. T's and C's apply.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for butcheries, restaurants, beauty salons, and more. Here's Gert.
I definitely have peace of mind that Business Outsurance is protecting our business. I do think Business Outsurance are the best insurance company out there, and they gave us the best quotes.
Switch to Business Outsurance, and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Are you living with diabetes? Tired of painful fingerstick tests? Introducing a new continuous glucose monitoring system from Abbott Laboratories. The Freestyle Libre 2 system sends glucose readings straight to your compatible smartphone. With minute-by-minute glucose readings, optional glucose alarms, and excellent accuracy, the Freestyle Libre system is here to support you in the management of your diabetes. For more information and where to buy your Freestyle Libre 2 sensor, visit www.freestylelibre.za.com. Now available at your local pharmacy.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
It's going to slap the country with an invoice of 148 million rand over the next 6 months, and it will kick off on the 1st of September. Colloquially known as the Madlanga Commission will kick off, and of course, this is the Judicial Commission of Inquiry into criminality, political interference, and corruption in the criminal justice system, and it will be held in Pretoria. To give us more insights, developments, and much, much more, your favorite Oren Singh is here, EWN reporter. He'll give us the latest. Oren, always great chatting to you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Thabo. Thanks for having me.
Of course, with much bated breath, it's about to kick off. The price is a bit heavy, but of course, it's the content that will matter. What is the latest that we now understand before it kicks off on the 1st of September?
Well, I think there's a few things to highlight, Thabo. Yesterday, a government gazette was gazetted in terms of the regulations of the commission itself. That was published yesterday, and it goes through several things, including the powers of the commission, what powers they have. One thing that I do want to highlight that's mentioned in this government gazette is self-incriminating answers or evidence. Thabo, we heard of it in the Zondo Commission, people appearing and saying, I refuse or decline to answer that as it may be self-incriminating. And I think it's within someone's constitutional right not to answer a question should they self-incriminate themselves. But how we're going to kind of work around that, because essentially, Thabo, this is a powerful commission that's dealing with arms of state that have to account. We're dealing with SAPS, Crime Intelligence, State Security Agency, massive networks that are responsible for national security in the country. And so when you have someone appearing as a witness before Justice Madlanga and his senior counsel and refusing to answer questions, that might leave us with a little bit of egg on our face, given the public international scrutiny that's going to come with this commission starting off on the 1st of September.
And it would be really a waste of time, because that's the nature of an inquiry. You inquire and you expect answers.
Essentially, Thabo, we need to get answers, and we need to get to the bottom of where these allegations come from and whether there's any truth and more to look into regarding Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhonazi's allegations that he made on the 6th of July. We know that figure of 147.9 million rand that the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development has put aside for the establishment of this commission. We do know that the decision taken by the commission to have it heard at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College in Pretoria was a cost-effective decision. They say that they got the venue for free. They considered many venues in Gauteng, given the fact that most media houses are based in Gauteng, but they chose that because it came at no cost.
I just want to come to the witnesses for a second, but prior to that, just to get you to clear this off, Oren, we understand that it will also investigate whether the Minister Mkhunu misled Parliament about his relationship with Brown Mokgotsi, among others.
Yeah, this is an important aspect, and I think this is where it all stemmed from. On March 5th, 2025, we had various top police brass appearing before Parliament's Portfolio Committee into Police. Lieutenant General Mkhonazi, Fani Masimola, the police commissioner, as well as Police Minister Senzo Mkhunu. Towards the end of that 4 to 5 hour briefing, General Mkhonazi goes out and he says all the allegations he made public on the 6th of July about this Brown Mokgotsi meddling in police work. And right after his address, Senzo Mkhunu comes out to say, I don't know this person. He is not a close associate of mine. So obviously there'll need to be a lot of probing and digging to ascertain whether that is in fact the truth, that Minister Mkhunu and a certain Brown Mokgotsi have no sort of relationship.
Now, I mean, the duration will also in part be determined by the number of witnesses who come and appear before the commission, and the extent at which their testimony is heard. Do we have an idea as far as the numbers of those witnesses, Oren?
We have an inkling, Thabo. We understand as EWN that there are up to 30 witnesses currently that have been canvassed and have been spoken to regarding their participation in this commission to testify as witnesses. We understand that's not the final number, and it's expected to grow quite a bit. So currently we're sitting at probably about 30 or so, but it's expected to get much higher than that. And we know that the commission itself are not expecting to go beyond 6 months, but given the fact that they can't actually have timelines around how long one person is going to testify versus the other, it could go on way longer than that, Thabo.
There's always a but. Oren Singh, EWN reporter. Always great hearing from you. 25 minutes after 3 o'clock.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
We've also heard about the Eminent Persons Group reaching out to legacy foundations, starting the national dialogue. A couple of days, or should I say a week or so ago, you might have heard the hesitations from various legacy foundations that were concerned about the contents, preparation, and various other elements of the national dialogue prior to the convention that was held last weekend. Now, Eminent Persons Group is trying to say, come through, let's talk about those issues, don't go far away, and we'd rather fight from inside. Thabiso Goba is EWN reporter, and he'll give us the latest on that, as you might have heard in the EWN news by Mbali Dlamini earlier. Thabiso, great talking to you. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Thabo.
Clearly, they would the more the merrier, especially for the participative process of national dialogue. But some people would ask, Thabiso, what value do these legacy foundations offer, and why do the Eminent Persons Group want them in so badly?
Well, I do think it's important, Thabo, to obviously say that these legacy foundations that eventually boycotted last week's national convention on the national dialogue are some foundations that were part of the conception of the national dialogue. They were part of the preparatory team, and obviously they were part of the people who obviously are going to obviously have this national dialogue and what it's going to be like. So again, these are people who were part of it, and there is obviously the sense of that by them boycotting the national dialogue, that was sort of a message to the preparatory team or to the national dialogue in terms of that they are unhappy. And what we do understand is that today, those foundations that had boycotted the national dialogue were supposed to meet to sort of chart out what they want their next steps are going to be. However, that meeting was cancelled last night. It was cancelled because the Eminent Persons Group reached out to these foundations and say, let's meet, let's have a dialogue, and let's sort out our situations. So we do understand that meeting is going to take place around next week, and obviously from there on, then those foundations will obviously decide, do they continue or do they obviously continue to boycott the national dialogue.
Who are some of these people in the EPG?
That's the Eminent Persons Group. Also, the Eminent Persons Group, so I believe it's chaired by Rolf Meyer. It's also Lindiwe Mazibuko, the former DA parliamentary leader. We know obviously there's some Gift of the Givers, Mr. Imtiaz Sulman, the legendary actor John Kani, Springboks captain. So there's a number of people, but in terms of those people who are at the top, it's Mr. Rolf Meyer and Lindiwe Mazibuko.
And we have seen some of those legacy foundations coming through. We saw Dr. Geraldine Fraser Moleketi, among others, speaking out and saying that if proper preparation is done, they are keen to also participate, speaking to Bongani Bingwa earlier in the week. And we saw the message from, or a press release from Kgalema Motlanthe Foundation, the patron himself, saying that he did not necessarily skip or boycott. It was because of prior arrangements and appointments. But South Africans would ask, these individuals or these groups, Thabiso, they are always given a voice on platforms such as ours. Why should they be afforded so much attention at this point?
100%. And I do think because of this, it's important to say that the National Dialogue is not going to be one event. It's going to be a number of events. It's going to take place over 9 months. And what the National Dialogue wants to do is wants to engage as many organizations and civil organizations as possible. Now, I have obviously been speaking to a lot of people from these foundations, and you do get the sense that they do want to come back. They are going to participate in this National Dialogue. But yes, obviously that question does have to be asked, because I think even the COSATU leader, Zingisalosi, said foundations are not elected organizations.
Yes.
No one elects them, so
Self-appointed.
they don't have a constituency. So how important are they? But, you know, at the end of the day, the National Dialogue does strive to speak to as many people as possible, including foundations, organizations, civil society groups, and everyone.
Thabiso Goba, thanks very much for your time, and keep us posted on that story as it unfolds. It's exactly 3:30. Bali Dlamini will give us the very latest on Eyewitness News headlines. Good afternoon, Bali. What's the latest?
Thanks, Thabo. Good afternoon. Civil society leaders meeting under the C20 banner have hit out at the slow uptake of transformation policies by governments across the globe. The C20 is the G20 leg representing voices of civil groups, including NGOs. The group tabled its initial policy draft brief in Pretoria today. The final policy pack is expected to make recommendations on global governance, food security, financial justice, education and health. C20 chairperson Thulani Chefuta says world leaders need to pay attention to the recommendations and demands of organized civil society. He says a failure to answer calls for economic and social development will have a devastating impact on communities.
The transformation agenda is under siege. The anti-transformation voice keeps on being emboldened and organized without any shame. Equality cannot be achieved without raising the base of the marginalized people through deliberate implementation of measures that support empowerment and transformation.
To this now, the charred remains of a man have been discovered under the burnt metal rubble at an informal settlement in Katlehong in Ekurhuleni. The Metro's Emergency Management Service was notified of the body by community members after the structure was dismantled this morning. It's understood a fire broke out in the Katlehong North informal settlement last night. According to preliminary reports, the death may be linked to a mob justice attack. Ekurhuleni EMS spokesperson William Ndladi says the identity of the man has to be withheld for safety reasons.
Disaster and Emergency Management Services responded swiftly to the scene for intervention, and on arrival it was found that the shack fire had been already dismantled. The known patient was declared dead by paramedics.
Parliament's Police Committee Chairperson Ian Cameron says an attack in Philippi will not deter them from doing their work. Cameron and NCOP member Nicholas Gotzel were wounded during what could have been a smash and grab or attempted hijacking yesterday. Fellow DAMP Lisa Schikkeling was also in the vehicle as they left an oversight visit at the Police Training College in Philippi. Lauren Isaacs has more.
Ian Cameron says yesterday's attack underscores the risks faced during oversight work, but he and his colleagues remain determined to carry out their responsibilities to ensure accountability and safety.
We're okay. We've already received some treatment. I went for a debrief this morning. I'm on my way to the dentist to give some attention to my broken teeth. Nicholas is back at home. He had to get quite a few stitches in his head, and Lisa is also starting to recover.
Cameron has for a number of years been on the ground in various communities, experiencing firsthand the issues plaguing them.
I read comments this morning where people say now they feel what we feel, and some nasty comments as well. But I must be honest, I've been working in these areas for the past 5 years. So I'm well aware of the challenges, and what happened to us yesterday is nothing new. A lot of these communities face it on a daily basis.
An 18-year-old suspect who was shot during the attack is in hospital under police guard, while officers apprehended a 16-year-old suspect in Brown's Farm in the early hours of this morning. Lauren Isaacs, Eyewitness News.
And Milan's main airport had to be partially evacuated today after a man set fire to a check-in desk and attacked the staff. According to reports, the man first started a fire in a rubbish bin and then started smashing check-in desks and information screens with a hammer. Security at the airport were finally able to overpower him and he was handcuffed and then taken away. The Lombardy Airports Association says the situation has been now brought under control. It's a fine afternoon in Gauteng today. Temperatures have peaked at highs of between 25 and 26 degrees.
Parktown, you can still expect about a 20-minute delay. That's driving through the Joburg CBD heading towards Boysens, M1 southbound between Killarney Bends and the Crown Interchange. And in Devlin, there's slow-moving traffic on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue.
A top story in EWN, civil society leaders meeting under the C20 banner have hit out at the slow uptake of transformation policies by governments across the globe.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
What kind of message does this send around criminality policing?
We can, from our side as MPs, and that is certainly what we do as a trio. This is the work that we do. Now, we won't be able to fix the police overnight, but on this journey of fixing the police, we also need communities to take responsibility. And whether that is to be a witness or whether that is to see what's going on at your neighbour's house, with your son, your daughter, everybody has to take responsibility.
Nicholas Godsoll, DA MP.
The Midday Report
With Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
Vodacom is now the official telecommunications partner to all our national Springbok teams and SA rugby competitions. And when we say all, we mean every single one, from juniors to seniors, women's to men's, grassroots to World Cup glory. Vodacom is right there, connecting every try, tackle, and team talk. This isn't just changing the game, it's creating extraordinary rugby moments. Vodacom, your front row seats to all things Springbok.
Naked people are more interesting. They can make conversation with absolutely anyone at the office, even Jeff from IT. That's because naked people get car and home insurance online in seconds, which means less time wasted on insurance admin and more time listening to obscure crypto podcasts for their next encounter with Jeff. Go to naked.insure now, get a quote in 90 seconds, and get naked, people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates' timeless wisdom reminds us of the power of introspection. At Plus 94 Research, we delve deep into data, uncovering insights that drive meaningful decisions. Our scientific methodologies transform questions into clarity. Don't just operate, understand. Don't just guess, know. Plus 94 Research, the science of decision making.
As a business owner, would you rather deal with stacks of slips at the end of each day or have recons done instantly? Introducing Yoko Counter, the new all-in-one payments and points of sale system that removes the guesswork, the paperwork, and the time drain. Taking your business from chaos to control, guesswork to clarity, giving you back time to focus on what truly matters. Visit yoko.com today to find out more about the simple yet powerful out-of-the-box solution with free built-in points of sale software.
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Good day. I don't use those names. I don't want them to be used on me. I have got a name that my parents gave me. Use that one. My partner currently calls me by my surname. I don't mind that at all. It's my maiden name. I like it. But baby, no. And I call him by his name or his surname or his clan name. That's it. Thank you.
Hey, guys.
Tabo. It's CM here. Never ever allow your partner to call you those names, baby, darling, this and that. No. Let him call you Tabo. And you call her on her name or Antoinette or Angie, something like that.
Yeah.
You know why? If you are cheating, if you're going out with Mary, one day, instead of calling her Angie, you'll call her Mary by mistake. If she's cheating, she'll call you one day Sibusiso.
Yes.
Instead of Tabo. You'll pick it up. Because if she keep calling you baby, that side also baby.
Yeah.
You see? So insist.
Afternoon, Tabo. Tabo from Alex. I call my wife Kekes. Her name is Keke, so I call her Kekes. Like,
Kekes.
my Keke.
Yeah, my cake. Very nice, very nice. I'm more concerned about the other one. So there's a motive behind calling your lover by her name or his name because you are setting them up for some serious confusion. In case they're cheating, they will then mistakenly call you by his or her name. I mean, by the other side person's name. Is it why though? But why is it that people are opposed to be called by these beautiful names. You know, pet names are meant to be sentimental, affectionate, these terms of endearment to show this person that you love them. You call them by these names because you show them what they really mean to you. And you use these nice cutie names, teddy bear, oh my gorgeous you, oh my chun 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 chun, and all of that. What's wrong with being called that? I don't know. I mean, it sounds to me, Garabo, like as if the more people grow, the less they want to be called by those names.
Really?
It sounds that way to me.
My partner doesn't have a pet name for me. I wish she did. The one that she had, it was not really a pet name. She thought I was like, when she met me, she thought I was like this hardcore, streetwise, gang guy. But I'm a softie.
Wow.
So she used to call me...
I don't know why she would think that.
She used to call me Kabaza, Kabaza. Like, every time when I do something manly, she's like, that's my Kabaza.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't like it.
How embarrassing.
And she eventually stopped.
Well, tell us about it on 072-702-1702. It's 19 minutes to 4 o'clock, not to 6, but to 4.
EWN Sport
with Tolagele Mganga, the very latest in the sporting world. Good afternoon, Tolagele.
Afternoon, Thabo. Well, 3 games take place in the Betway Premiership this evening, including Orlando Pirates at home to Stellenbosch, while Mamelodi Sundowns are away to Magesi. Last night, Kaizer Chiefs and Skokune United continued their perfect start with wins over Richards Bay and Orbit College, respectively. Khalil Ben Youssef has called for more ruthlessness from the Glamour Boys in the final third.
Still a lot of things to make in this team, but until now, let me say 60%, 70% we are happy about the performance. There is a lot of things to continue with the new players. They will give us more solution also to help the team. Until now, I think defensively we perform very well. Still have something to add in our offensive animation to give more solution and to create more situation to score.
Alexander Isak says promises have been broken by Newcastle United and the relationship can't continue as he looks to force through an exit. 19 days have passed since the Magpies rejected Liverpool's £110 million bid for the Swedish international. And then last night, the forward posted a statement on his Instagram to explain why he wasn't in attendance at the PFA Awards Gala. That's where he was named in the Premier League team of the season. SA Rugby have confirmed that the Springboks will play Japan at Wembley on November 1st as part of their outgoing series. The last time the Boks played at Wembley was a 31-all draw with the Barbarians back in 2016. As for Saturday, the double world champions are preparing for their second rugby championship clash against Australia, and Rassie Erasmus will welcome back the experienced Cheslin Colby, Damien Dialenda and Willie Leroux for that clash as they look to bounce back from their 38-22 defeat.
Cheslin was injured. Didn't take a chance on him last weekend. He was coming back from a back injury, so it's nice to have him back into the team. Yeah, hopefully, it's all smiles on Saturday evening, but it's going to be hard work. And that's, I guess, when you have squad depth and you're winning, then you really have squad depth. If you have a big squad and you're losing, then you only have numbers. So we must make sure that nobody says Saturday night after the game, we've got a lot of numbers, but not really squad depth.
And in news just in, Proteas spinner Prenel Subrian has been reported to the ICC for a suspect bowling action. That's during the first ODI against Australia on Tuesday. The match officials report cited concerns about the legality of his bowling action, and he'll now undergo an independent assessment. Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
If you're stuck in traffic, Garabo Charlie will tell you what's the very latest, which routes to take and which ones to avoid. Mr. Charlie, what's the latest?
Well, at this stage in the Boksburg Farrer Park area, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic that's heading into Sunwood Park on Rondebold Road, approaching the N17 due to roadworks, while in Parktown, you can still expect about a 20-minute delay. That's driving through the Joburg CBD heading towards Poisons. M1 southbound between Killarney Bends and the Crown Interchange. Also slow-moving traffic. This is in the Midrand area heading towards Centurion on the N1 northbound. This is between the Butlu Interchange and New Road. Devland traveling into Eldorado Park. We still have those roadworks slowing down traffic on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
702 Podcast
on PrimeMediaPlus.com.
Oh, well, and the voices behind me would be that of a number one Kosi fan, Twalagele Mganga.
And the position they're in.
Oh,
Joint
wow.
job, thank you.
Oh, wow. And a hater on the side. Criticizing Kaizer Chiefs. Are you a Sundowns fan?
I'm a Pagachuchu.
Pagane.
We will come up, we'll pick up, we'll rise again.
La Pagane. One reason to love you.
You can only go one slot lower. I think that's the funny thing.
But welcome to Lagele. Earlier on, we were just looking at the names that you have rejected, that your partner called you by. Pet names that you don't like. Pet names that you don't want to be called by, especially by your partner. Is it Lavi? Is it babe? A whole lot of people said they don't want to be called baby and babe for various reasons. Mm-hmm. One of our callers, one of the voice notes that came through said that, Thabo, don't allow your partner to call you baby, because when they cheat, or if they cheat, they won't be able to be caught easily because they'll be calling everyone baby. But if there is a Simon on the other side, or Eteboho, they'll then call you Eteboho instead of Thabo. So always insist on being called Thabo. So that's what they were saying, right?
Why do you say Thabo?
Listen, fortunately for me, I don't mind being called by my name. I really don't mind. But also, baby, I just don't like it that much. But I'm
Why?
Okay. No, because I'm not a baby. I'm a grown man.
It's a term of endearment.
I know. And you?
I don't mind nicknames, but like even those like cute pet names, but also for me, even amongst my friends, we call each other that. So it's just second nature, whether it's an intimate partner or friends that are calling, you just get used to it.
We're speaking specifically about intimate partners.
I'm not fussed about it. If in that moment you feel like calling me clever, that's fine.
Or Kosi for life.
All of that is fine, because also it's part of your guys' own communication network, and you understand that, okay, in this moment, if I'm calling you by your government name, you know it's something a little bit serious. If I'm calling you by like a specific sports related thing, I know exactly what we're about to talk about. And then if you're giving me like the lovey pet names, I know that, okay, now it's time for us to just be partners. And
Kabazela raised a very important issue. He said, it could be that your partner calls you babe because he called the ex babe as well. So you're inheriting a name.
Why are you guys always worried about other people in your relationship?
Don't say you guys. He's sitting right there. He's sitting right there. His name is Kabazela.
But
why
again,
you
in that
guys?
moment, they're with you. Why are you worried about other people?
He didn't say that. I asked him that. To be honest, he didn't say that. But I mean, it would bother me if you called your ex babe and you're also calling me babe. Oh, guys, no.
I just feel like
some bit of creativity there. So when you have it, oh wow!
You see, like,
wow.
And then I come up with like a cute little nickname, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, that's offensive. But there's like 10 cute nicknames that I can work with.
Don't call me by the name of your ex.
Yes,
but it's not my ex's name.
But
it's
you used to call him Love, and now you're calling me Love.
But in that moment,
I know, but then I feel like I'm him. I'm a loser like him.
Oh, wow, guys. A loser. I didn't see that one coming.
Okay,
but I agree with you. I agree with you. No babes for us.
No babes for us. None. But you can tell us on 072 702 1702 12.
Yes. I used to dislike it when she calls me Chomi. Until she made me understand, she further explained to me that, no, I'm not calling you Chomi because you are my Chomi, but you are the only friend I have, and we do almost everything together. So that's why I call you Chomi. And ever since then, it made perfect sense. And I just, let it slide. And she calls me Chomi. And I also call her Chomi now. But then, I used to dislike it, but now I understand why she calls me that. Sharp, great show.
Oh, Chomi. That's so cute, but hey, man, watch it. It's like you're becoming a bit softer there, being called Chomi, and you like it. I don't like it too much, but I understand the meaning behind that. Thanks very much for those WhatsApp messages, the voice notes, and everything else. Feel free to keep sending them on 072 702 1702.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Yeah, you would know very well if you follow these things that today is the World Mosquito Day. And very shortly we'll be talking to Dr. Ashley Berg. And we're just reflecting on the significance of the day and understanding a little bit more about our flying friends that we sometimes dislike so much. Dr. Ashley Berg joins us right now, medical entomologist at the University of Pretoria's Institute for Sustainable Malaria Control and a lecturer in the School of Health Systems and Public Health, the Faculty of Health Services. Doc, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Good afternoon.
Hi, Tabo. Thanks very much for having me on. It's an honor to be here.
Some people would say we are making a big fuss or buzz about something that is not well liked. Why should we particularly observe this day today or give it some importance?
Well, World Mosquito Day is really about commemorating really significant discoveries in mosquito research. So today, the 20th of August, is the day that Sir Ronald Ross discovered that the female Anopheles mosquito transmits malaria. So this was huge, and this was a really big breakthrough. And it also just allows us to raise awareness of mosquito-borne diseases, malaria, dengue, Zika, all of these, and their global impact. So it's mostly about that.
Because we dislike them so much for, I suppose, reasons that may be valid. But what are mosquitoes important for in the ecosystems themselves?
Yes, they're certainly very annoying, but they do play their role. So despite being vectors of disease, they do have ecological roles. So in some cases, they're a food source, where some larvae support fish and aquatic organisms. They also feed birds, bats, and other insects. And some of them are also pollinators. So it is only the female that takes a blood meal. All male mosquitoes merely take a sugar or nectar meal. So this can involve them as pollinators for certain plants. And then the larvae themselves, so these are only in aquatic habitats. They are involved in nutrient cycling. So they'll recycle organic matter in aquatic habitats and contribute to healthy wetlands in that way.
And I'm just thinking, I'm always shocked whenever I hear about the importance of various insects and things that I don't necessarily like. And some people make assertions that without these insects, life would not be the same, or it would alter significantly, just like we hear of bees, that life would change. Are mosquitoes that significant that without them, there would be a significant part of our lives that is altered significantly?
Well, the major effect would be the effect on public health. We would love that if we could eliminate disease vectors. There is a chance that eliminating all mosquitoes could disrupt ecosystems. Also, if you're taking something out of the ecosystem, you're now opening up a gap that something else could fill in. Midges biting, other insects. So there's that possibility as well. So this is the ethical debate that is always on the go.
And as entomologist, your preoccupation, especially medical entomologist, your preoccupation would be looking after these insects, studying them and seeing how they can contribute to the improvement of lives and moving the needle generally in our lives and in the health system. Very important issue about mosquitoes that all of us know is malaria as well. And to what extent have we, as the medical field, or you as the medical field, tried to do away in the fight against malaria and reducing that? We do know that in some countries it is a very serious factor in their health system.
Yeah, that's everything that we're trying to do. So we are the sort of gap, we bridge the gap between public health, biology, and disease prevention. So we're doing the research, and then we're sending that information back to the provinces who are dealing with the malaria cases and that sort of thing. So we do, in South Africa, the malaria is at a very low residual level. So we are targeting elimination, actually. That's elimination of malaria, not elimination of mosquitoes. So that's what we're always working towards, and we're always trying to come up with innovative ways to control very specific malaria vector species, and contributing in that way as entomologists.
Yeah. Pardon the frivolity of the question, Doc, but I can't help but ask. To what extent can one be a main target for mosquitoes? Because it appears to me, and this is a layman speaking, that mosquitoes at times, or certain individuals, are more prone to being attacked by mosquitoes than others generally. And they could be living in the same household, by the way.
Yeah, that's it. So mosquitoes, they're attracted to three main components. The first being the carbon dioxide in your breath. The second being the skin volatiles that are emitted from your body. And then they're attracted to heat. So people who naturally run hotter will also be giving off more chemical volatiles, which may make them more attractive to mosquitoes than others. There's also a component of blood type that has been in the literature as well. But all of these working together is really what drives the attraction of mosquitoes. So everybody is so unique. Your diets affect everything as well. So and your genetics, all of those different things rolled into one, that is what makes you more or less attractive to mosquitoes. So it's very personal and very varied.
I know I could be attacked for asking this on the show in the month of August when we are celebrating women, and it's Women's Month, that only female mosquitoes bite. Is that true?
Yes, no, that's absolutely true. And it's good to know. It's only the females, and the reason is because the females need the protein in the blood to produce the eggs. So that's the reason. The males, they only take fruit and nectar from plants. Just the females need that blood meal to make eggs.
And without collapsing the pharmaceutical industry, Doc, are you able to give us some heads up on what to use when we have mosquito bites? Because they're a bit stingy, and the more you scratch, the more painful it becomes. And sometimes there's some bit of blood that is spilled. Some of the few things that we can use at home, again, being wary of the fact that you are in the profession and you don't want to collapse your colleagues' industry, the first pharmaceutical ones.
Yes. Now, of course, it's best to prevent the bites beforehand using repellents, whichever brand you would like to use. Anything that's going to mask your human scent. So remember how mosquitoes are attracted to your scent. If you are masking that with a repellent or even a spatial repellent, that's great to prevent bites. If you've already been bitten, it's just important to keep that bite site clean. You don't want to scratch and open up a wound for potential secondary infections. So keep that site clean. There are plenty of pharmaceutical creams that have a sort of a numbing effect that you can put on. I know this from personal experience, so I know that they work very well. So there's plenty available for those purposes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ashley Burke. And if it's appropriate, happy World Mosquito Day to you. 2 minutes to 4 o'clock.
Africa Milani.
Weekday mornings,
4 to 6.
How would you advise President Ramaphosa then? How does he navigate this rather delicate sort of terrain that he's finding himself in, particularly given the fact that there will most likely be a bilateral between Zelensky and Putin, and ultimately a trilateral that will involve Donald Trump as well?
For President Ramaphosa, presenting a cautious but present and showcasing what South Africa can do to assist, that I think for me is an important role that can be played.
Gustavo Di Callio.
Africa Milani.
4 to 6 on 702.
They did a lot for you. Now, do one more thing for them. Protect yourself and those you love by getting vaccinated against flu. It's the most effective way to prevent and control flu. Book an appointment with your healthcare provider today. Covered by most medical schemes. A message brought to you by Sanofi.
Hi, I'm Dion Free. Winning requires audacity. That's why I joined African Bank and opened a 60-month fixed-term investment account. I'm scoring 12.8% interest at expiry on my investment. How cool is that? You too can join the bank that backs you to grow your money. Pop into a branch near you or visit africanbank.co.za. African Bank. Audacity to believe. African Bank is a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, brings the spirit of Ubuntu to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from the 29th to the 31st of August. Experience thrilling track drives, 4x4 adventures, drifting, supercar hot laps, and F1 demos. Get your tickets on Howler and use the promo code RADIO for a special discount. The Festival of Motoring, the power of new.
This is EWN.
Minister Patricia de Lille dissolves SA Tourism Board and Lolita Gowa's alleged killers abandon their bid for bail. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille has dissolved the SA Tourism Board with immediate effect. The ministry made the announcement this afternoon. The decision comes after the body held a special meeting earlier this month where an unlawful resolution was reportedly taken. Khomotso Modise has more.
In a statement, the Tourism Ministry says members of the SA Tourism Board were informed of the minister's decision yesterday. Minister Patricia de Lille had asked for members to make written representations as to why the board should not be dissolved. She says the board failed to address the legality of a meeting held earlier this month where an unlawful resolution was made. The ministry says the Tourism Act empowers the minister to dissolve the board on good cause shown. De Lille will initiate the process of appointing a new board and will invite nominations of eligible persons. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
A decision for the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry to sit in Pretoria has been taken as a cost-effective move to save the taxpayer money. The inquiry, looking into political interference and corruption in the criminal justice system, will begin its work on September the 1st. It will be probing serious allegations made by KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi in July. The Department of Justice and Constitutional Development has estimated that the commission will cost close to 148 million rand. Commission spokesperson Jeremy Michaels says after considering several venue options in Gauteng, the Bridget Mabandla Justice College came out tops as it came at no cost to the commission.
It really was a no-brainer because the venue is available to the commission free of charge, and so cognizant of the fact that particularly for media houses who are based in Johannesburg, it is quite inconvenient, but again, very conscious of the cost to the taxpayer.
In the courts now, the alleged killers of 7-year-old Lolita Gowa have abandoned their bid for bail in the Khayelitsha Magistrates Court. This after alternative addresses could not be secured for them. Odwa Jack and Nokuthula Matyeseni are accused of the murder and sexual assault of the little girl whose body was found dumped near her home in Kuyasa last month. Ntutuzelo Nene reports.
Odwa Jack and Nokuthula Matyeseni have faced a courtroom packed with community members and some relatives of the deceased. Their legal aid lawyer has told the court that families of the accused are refusing to take them in should they be released on bail. Magistrate Brandel Abrams has postponed the matter until October.
Your matter is now remanded to the 22nd of October for further investigation purposes. You both will remain in custody and you will not be brought to court. On the next court appearance, you will appear via the audio-visual remand system.
The state says it's still awaiting post-mortem and DNA results taken from the deceased child. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News in Khayelitsha.
Let's stay in the courts. The family of a prisoner who was killed after allegedly being assaulted by 5 prison wardens is calling for justice after the matter hit a snag in court today. The Johannesburg Regional Court postponed the trial against the 5 wardens, which was meant to begin today. The matter dates back to 2022 when the incident allegedly occurred at the Johannesburg prison. The late inmate Dumsani Ngwenya's family is now concerned that the wheels of justice are moving moving at a snail's pace. Jabulile Mbata has more.
75-year-old Betty Mashego, the aunt of Dumsani Ngwenya, says she is worried she may not live to see justice for her nephew. 5 prison wardens, aged between 30 and 50, are accused of beating the inmate with their bare hands and batons until he was hospitalized. It's alleged the wardens were breaking up a fight between Ngwenya and another inmate at Johannesburg prison in 2022. His aunt, Betty Mashego, says she found out he was at Baragwanath Hospital on the day he was meant to appear in court for his robbery offense. She says she was surprised to see he had been admitted to the intensive care unit.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
When I walked in, I couldn't believe my eyes that he is in a coma. He was not moving. He's not talking. I asked them, how could you bring me to someone who does not look like he's still living? I can just tell that he's only breathing because of the machine.
Today, the old woman walked into court holding a walking stick, limping, covering her injured knee. The court postponed the matter for 10 September to obtain assessors. Jabulile Mbata, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
And Vienna has been chosen to host Eurovision 2026. Eurovision is the world's biggest live televised music event and is set for the 16th of May next year. Since its launch in 1955, it has become the ultimate pop platform, and it also catapulted the Swedish group ABBA to worldwide fame. Vienna previously hosted the glitzy TV extravaganza in 1967 as well as in 2015. Gold is trading at $3,339.87 an ounce. The rand is at 17.71 to the dollar, 23.87 to the pound, 20.66 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $65.79 a barrel.
Parktown expect about a 20-minute delay heading towards Boysens. That's driving through the Joburg CBD M1 South between Killarney Bends and the Crown Interchange. And in Midrand, traffic is heavily backed up heading towards Centurion N1 northbound between the Batlu Interchange and New Road.
In your sport, Ben Youssef demands more from Kaizer Chiefs after their strong start to the season. Alexander Isak breaks his silence to declare he can't continue at Newcastle United. And the Springboks to play Japan at Wembley.
A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg dropping to overnight lows of 9 degrees, peaking at 28. Pretoria 8 and 28, and Vereniging 5 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille has dissolved the South African Tourism Board with immediate effect.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 4 o'clock. Thanks, Mbali, for updating us. And she's back with us round about 22 minutes time at about 4:30. And we'll get the very latest from EWN. If you've just joined us, welcome. My name is Thabo. I'm in for John. We're together till 6. And thank you once again for the voice notes that have been coming through. This hour, we will look at how the judge granted Mbalula a gag order against Anele Mda over defamatory or false tweets. And that was Judge Selby Patwa. You'd remember that he is a former public protector, if the name rings the bell with you. And we will also talk about Layby versus buy now, pay later. Paul Rulofse, certified financial planner, will join us at 10 to 5. A little bit later on, we'll talk about a troubling issue of South Africans earning more than 40,000 rands a month, because it appears that more and more South Africans are earning a little bit less than that. They're in the range of 10,000, 20,000 and 30,000 rands. And of course, there are those who are earning far less than that. What does it say about the middle class in South Africa? 072 702 1702. Keep those voice notes coming through.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Heidi,
I used to be called by my ex, I used to be called Babe. Otherwise, it was my name. But when I got called Babe, I knew there was something coming as saying, eventually I said, like, what do you want? Because that's the only time I got called Babe, is if she expected something.
Hi, Tibos. Hi, Tolagele. No, I'm with you there, Tolagele. No, Tibos. If I used to call my ex baby, I can call my current baby because that's a category name. It's just a name that reflects the category relationship that me and you are on. So, yes, I used to call him or her baby. I'm going to call current baby. So I missed Tolagel on this one. Tabo, I'm with her. It's a score for bullying Tolagele. 1 Tabo, 0 Tolagele. Kalane from the vow.
Hi, Tabo. I just listening to your conversation here. I just wanted to say, what you mean? Brother, it's gone. you are the one being played.
Stay soft.
Show me. I know. I just wanted to just warn the brother. Thanks, Tabo.
Yeah. I think Bamukinse stays off the old one. What Chomi? No. That's softening him up. He shouldn't agree to be called Chomi. But he explained it very well. In case you're wondering what are we talking about, we were asking earlier on as the show kicked off. Names that you don't want to be called by, especially by your partner. A pet name that you rejected, as your partner called you baby, lovey, sweetie. The name that you really don't want to be called by because it sounds a bit generic. Why can't your partner find a specific name, for a pet name for you? Why are they using a generic name? It must be just about you and you only. Now they call their ex lovey. They also call you lovey. That's what we're talking about. 11 minutes after 4 o'clock.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by cars.co.za. Let's find what moves you. The roads, Mr. Charlie, how do they look right now?
Well, at this stage, if you're traveling through Parktown heading towards Boysons, you can expect about a 20-minute delay. M1 South between Killarney Bends and the Crown Interchange. Midrand also bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N1 northbound that's heading towards Centurion. Between the Patlu Interchange and New Road, while in Devland, slow-moving traffic. This is all due to roadworks on the Golden Highway between Union Avenue and the N1, while in Sunwood Park, Boksburg, traffic heavily backed up on Rondapult Road approaching the N17. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
8 out of 10 radio listeners suffer from CAR, or car advertising on repeat. Symptoms include fatigue, anxiety, and confusion. With so many car ads coming at you on your daily commute, buying or selling a car can feel overwhelming. But there is a cure.
Cars.co.za. Whatever car you want to buy or sell, cut through the and just go to cars.co.za and let's find what moves you. Cars.co.za.
When you vote in Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko, you don't just support a business, you help rewrite its future.
Gauteng's greatest, powered by Yoko, impacted our business in a very positive way. We've had a lot more feet coming through the restaurant. It's given us a lot more traction in the market, and we've seen a lot more new faces. As Grumpy's Cafe, I would encourage people to go onto Prime Media Plus and vote for their favorite establishment.
How it impacted my business, I think, is mostly through increased awareness of my brand. I think it expanded our reach a bit. And I think the biggest thing that I felt was just a kind of a buzz and an energy in the shop. At Love Books, we would encourage you to cast your vote at Prime Media Plus.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Your vote is more than a click. It could be a game changer for your favorite local business. Vote now on primemediaplus.com.
Ready to lead and make our world a better place? Regenesis School of Education proudly launches its revolutionary Bachelor of Education program. They don't just develop teachers, they develop conscious leaders equipped with IQ, STEM, AI, and emotional intelligence. Study in the heart of Sandton or online worldwide with a world-class faculty trusted by over 1,000 corporations and 500,000 alumni from 150 countries. Enroll now at regenesis.net/education. Regenesis School of Education, awakening potential.
Our students made it possible for us to travel more with the money that we save. 725. This is really real.
You are the biggest saver we've ever had.
2,794 Rand a month. It was the easiest switch ever. Get real.
How is it that OUTsurance provided the solution for you?
918 Rand is what I'm saving.
Incredible.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands.
Just phone OUTsurance, get a quote and see what they can offer you. If you don't save that 321 like I did, you might say get a 500 or $1,000 back. Service and savings, you'll always get something out.
What was the real deal they could offer you?
870.
That's amazing. What brought you and OUTsurance together?
718 Rand. I end up saving.
They gave you the real deal.
It literally is the real deal.
Go to outsurance.co.za now for a 10-minute quote that could save you thousands. Licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Dreaming of a tropical escape? World Leisure Holidays has your ticket to paradise with exclusive getaways to the Indian Ocean Islands. From the beaches of Mauritius and the Maldives to the charm of Madagascar, Seychelles, Zanzibar, and more, your dream destination awaits. Take advantage of early bird specials and pay stay offers. Call 011-285-2500 and mention 702 for a mystery discount. Or follow us on social media or contact your nearest travel professional. Start planning your escape today. T's and C's apply.
Franchise your future with the vision to invest, the mindset to follow a proven system, and the drive to grow something of your own. Meet the minds behind smart investments and proven franchise success on Franchise Your Future with Relebohile Mabocha, brought to you by Cash Converters on 702. Plus, you could win 10,000 Rand to kickstart your journey to franchise your future. Hit primemediaplus.com now. Then, every Tuesday from 1 p.m., catch Franchise Your Future on Afternoons with Relebohile Mabocha. Brought to you by Cash Converters. Your money, your momentum. On 702. Let's walk the talk.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
17 after 4, there was a ruling that was made against Anele Mda, the social commentator. And this is after her post to a response to a post by Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary General of the African National Congress. The court found that those comments bordered on lawlessness and a banana republic was unlawful. The person who penned the story is none other than someone that you know very well who needs no introduction. News 24 legal journalist Karen Mon. Karen, always great chatting to you. Welcome to 702 this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
I'm wondering, to what extent does this ruling by Judge Selby Baqwa move the envelope a little bit, especially on the matter that was ventilated on social media? Anele Mda argues that this is not new at all. This information that she posted had always been in the public space.
Yes, and I mean, that's a very big issue here, right? Because a lot of what people will post on Twitter will be in response to newspaper stories. And that was essentially her defense. She said she believed, based on stories from 2019 in The Citizen and I think 2017 in News 24, that there were these alleged links between Mbalula and figures involved in Botswana's murder, and that, you know, her suggestion that, you know, he belonged in jail and he was somehow linked to these people were based on those stories and therefore defensible. And what the court has said is, you know, they've essentially supported the arguments advanced by Mbalula's advocate that, you know, these articles were the opinions, inverted quotes, of the journalists that wrote them. So I think that there's, and that was not utilizing those newspaper articles to say that her commentary was based on that, and she insisted that she was just ventilating an opinion, that this was not fact. The court has rejected that argument. So it does raise questions about how people may utilize news stories on Twitter as a mechanism to then attack high-profile figures. And we know Anela Mda, I've spoken to her, she said, I'm taking this matter on appeal.
Yes.
And I think that issue is going to be one of the things that potentially, full bench of the High Court or the SCA may, grapple with in terms of, what people can do in response to news stories and how they can defend what can sometimes be very hostile and aggressive attacks on political people on the basis of news stories. I think that's going to be a pivotal issue.
Yeah, and its rights and responsibilities, but most importantly, the limitations to the rights, right? Rights to freedom of, rights to free speech and everything else. Whilst we enjoy those, there must be a line that is drawn. But just let's take a few steps back, if you don't mind me being elementary, Karen, just to give some people a bit of context who might not have followed the story very closely so that we don't lose them altogether. Initially, Fikile Mbalula posted responding to that very controversial, highly publicized Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi's public utterances. And Fikile Mbalula then posted after that. And he posted that the decision of Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi to announce serious accusations of criminal infiltration into the justice system into the justice system in a televised press conference bordered on lawlessness and a banana republic. This is what Fikile Mbalula had said. And then Anela Mda came back to respond to that particular tweet by saying in part in isiXhosa that wena igama lakho liyavela, meaning your name also appears and is implicated in Botswana's murder. And the question still stands, what were you doing in Sandton with the guys who were driving the car that followed Wandile Botswana and whose occupants shot and instantly killed Botswana in 2015? So this is the tweet which is up for legal dispute, right?
And the central part, the end part of that is also in isiXhosa, where it's translated as she was obviously criticizing him for what she perceived to be criticism of Mkhwanazi, and she says, you don't tell us that, even you are supposed to be in jail or jailed.
Sure.
And of course, what's interesting, of course, is that Mbalula has denied that he was saying that Mkhwanazi, speaking out in the way that he did, amounted borders on lawlessness in a banana republic. He's said subsequently that actually what he was saying was the things that were being alleged by Mkhwanazi, borders on lawlessness in a banana republic. So he's very much in this litigation as well, distanced himself from this contention that she appears to have based her tweet on, that was essentially that he was criticizing Mkhwanazi. And she said she was perfectly, allowed to, in that context of his perceived criticism of Mkhwanazi, to then raise this issue, which had been ventilated in the media in 2019, 2017, about his links, alleged links to Wandile Botswana's death, or the people who were subsequently convicted of it. And of course, Mbalula has fundamentally denied that. He's come out and said, Wandile Botswana was a very good friend of mine. He was someone that I greatly cared about. At the time of this killing, I was in Swane as the sports minister, participating in National Recreation Day. I was doing aerobics, doing cycling. And in any event, this was someone that I deeply cared about. And she also raised the issue, of course, I think it was around in 2017, my organization, News 24, had suggested that Botswana had somehow funneled money to Fikile Mbalula and Thibaut Touch to go watch that Floyd Mayweather fight in Las Vegas. Of course, Mbalula has fundamentally denied that, but there's always been, and Anela Mda said, well, the suggestions that somehow money was owed was also what informed her making the commentary that she did on Twitter. But the court hasn't accepted that. It said, you have essentially implicated Fikile Mbalula in the murder of his friend. These are very false and defamatory statements, and we are ordering you to take them down and to then publish on Twitter a full apology retracting an unconditional unconditionally apologizing for these false and defamatory statements that you have made. And you are then interdicted from ever revisiting this issue and ever claiming that, Fikile Mbalula had somehow got some kind of connection to the murder of Wandile Bazwana. And of course, we know that she has said she is not going to do that. She's had 24 hours to do that. She is going to appeal. And she remains adamant that, she had every right to make those utterances. Mbalula, of course, saying that, this was fundamentally reputationally damaging to him at a time where we know, and he specifically references this in his affidavit, that the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry is examining Mkhwenazi's allegations that essentially say the entire criminal justice system has been infiltrated by organized criminals, and that by making these comments in this particular context, he believed that Mda was fundamentally implying that he was part of the kind of malafisant, political-edged corruption and criminal infiltration that Mkhwenazi has been alleging. And that's why he took this step to bring around this extraordinary court action. Whether or not that stops other people, many of these accounts on Twitter, of course, are anonymous, from making these kind of statements about Mbalula, I think is highly debatable. But he will have regarded this as sending a message that, he won't tolerate those kind of allegations in the social media space.
And
of course, the other thing is that Mda has been hit with a punitive cost order.
Yes.
So that's very expensive litigation for her. She is appealing that. But that also is, that has a cost implication for her in terms of, the commentary that she's put out there.
We did reach out to Anele for purposes of being fair, and she opted not to come on air. She referred us to a statement, and you have reflected on the critical part thereof, that she is appealing this decision, and she feels in part that this matter, these issues that she had raised, have been ventilated in the public space before. There was context, and she wants to take it to a different court, and she's confident that a different court would come to a different conclusion.
Well, we had this very interesting case with Lieutenant General Shadrach Sabia in the Bloemfontein High Court as well, where the court actually, overturned a provisional interdict that he'd got against Patricia Mashale, in regards to her allegations about him being corrupt and, Louis Liebenberg. And the court just said, fundamentally there were sort of news reports, a similar defense to what has been raised by Mda, that she based that commentary on news reports. And it accepted that. And also that as a sort of whistleblower, she's styled herself as a whistleblower, she had the right to make those kind of statements. So this is a very important issue, especially in the age of social media, where so much of our ideological contestation and the battle of ideas takes place. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what the SCA does with this case, if and when it hears the appeal.
Yeah. Thanks for your time, and we will, I hope, speak to you again as this develops. Really appreciate your time. Always great talking to you. Karen Mon, News 24 legal journalist. 27 after 4.
EWN Business.
SG Stephen Grootes is with us, and he'll give us the latest in the world of business. Welcome, Steve. I hope you're good.
Yeah, all good. Thank you, Thabo. Good afternoon to you. Well, the JSE having one of those days where it's sort of down 0.22%, but largely, hey, look, I don't get to say this often. It's not our fault. It's resource prices. So the JSE all share down 0.22 at 100,973 points. Financials down 0.08. Industrials down 0.1. And then resources down 0.64. So gold and platinum, particularly platinum, a little bit lower on the day. Quite a lot of corporate news coming out today. So, for example, DRD Gold, the higher gold price having a big impact on them. Their revenue up by 26% for the year to the end of June. It made more money and it produced less gold.
How does that work?
How does that happen? So the gold price was up by an average of 31% in the period. They're also doubling their annual dividend from their operations. What they generally do is they extract gold that's left in mine dumps and tailings dams. They had intense rain at one point in Joburg. You may remember, I think January, February, there was all of that rain, and that slowed things down. And that also means, by the way, those three big mine dumps that I think will feature quite prominently in some international TV stations' coverage of the G20 at Nasrec, they're going to be flattened. over
Really?
the next little while. Yeah, so that'll completely change that area because there's gold in them that are hills, and therefore someone is going to go and have a look at it.
And demand, does it speak to demand? The fact
Yeah. The price is all about demand at
yeah.
the moment, and so the demand is. How long have you got? The demand is being driven
40 seconds
by central banks who are worried about their currencies in this volatile era.
So they want to use gold to back up their
yes.
currency in order then to leverage on it a little bit later because on its own the currency can stand.
Yes. So good luck to the crypto bugs. They want them to buy Bitcoin, but in fact they're buying gold. Tungela Resources up nearly 4% on the day. That's quite a big bounce if you consider their results earlier in the week. And then Investec PLC up 2.5%. They're spending 2.5 billion rand on a share buyback program. Quite a few other JSE listed shares doing this at the moment. It's sort of what you do when you think your shares are not trading at their right value. They're sort of below value. So Investec doing that at the moment. And Northern Platinum also up 2.33% after they were down, what was it, nearly 8% yesterday after those poor results. That was also about the platinum price largely. And then Hyprop shares are up 1.6%. Interestingly, shares in MAS, this is the East European property company where Prime Capital, which already owns part of it, wants to own the rest. Their shares are down 5.57% today. They were up about 4% yesterday. Kumba Iron Ore also down 5.38%. And Woolworths, after quite a good day yesterday, are down nearly 2%. Stats SA, just to mention, obviously coming in with inflation, 3.5%. You can blame the foot and mouth outbreak in Gauteng. That pushed beef prices up. That pushed meat prices up. That pushed food prices up, and that pushed inflation up. And so that was one of the main reasons for that. In the US, Wall Street's main indices quite subdued today. The Nasdaq continuing its downward slide. There are a few concerns about AI. After spending all of this money, maybe it doesn't work. I mean, that's a joke, not a very funny one. But that's part of the reason why the Nasdaq was down quite significantly yesterday, down again today. Also just watching that Federal Reserve symposium in Jackson Hole. The Dow Jones down 0.12%. The Nasdaq down 1.56%, and the S&P 500 down 0.8% at the moment. The gold price is $3,341.19 an ounce. Platinum, $1,331.62. Brent crude, $66.46. The rand to the dollar, 17.70. To the euro, 20.63. To the British pound, 23.84. Tonight on The Money Show, no artificial intelligence whatsoever. Stephen Curtis, EWN Business.
And that is why he's the SG of broadcasting. And Mbali Dlamini will give us the very latest on Eyewitness News headlines. Mbali, what's the latest? Good afternoon. Welcome.
Thanks, Tabo. Good afternoon. Well, advocacy group My Vote Counts says raising the annual donation limit for political parties is a setback for transparency and democracy. President Cyril Ramaphosa signed the new regulations into law on the advice of Parliament. The regulations doubled the previous donation limit to 30 million rand and raised the threshold for making declarations to 200,000 rand. My Vote Counts, which has regularly challenged Parliament in the courts and won over its decision related to political party funding, believes the new limits will make it easier for private interests to influence local politics and for corruption to take place. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
This is only the first time since the original 15 million rand annual donation limit was set by Parliament in 2018 that it's being raised. But My Vote Counts says a balance needs to be struck between adequately funding political parties and protecting politics from undue influence from private interests. The organization's Joel Bregman.
A handful of wealthy individuals already dominate our private political funding landscape. Giving donors the ability to now donate 30 million rand exacerbates this problem, gives them more power to influence, makes parties more susceptible to influence.
Bregman also believes raising the disclosure limit will lead to greater secrecy and make it harder to determine whether donors are benefiting from their donations.
Instead of pushing us towards greater transparency, Parliament and now the President has pushed us in the opposite direction.
My Vote Counts says its next steps will be informed by a court judgment awaited on its challenge of the constitutionality of the Political Funding Act. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
The South African Council of Independent Churches has called for tougher measures to deal with violence in schools. It follows the stabbing of a principal and several other learners at Hoërskool Rooipoort in the west of Johannesburg. The incident, linked to a clash between learners from Hoërskool Rooipoort and the Westridge High School, flared up on Monday after a fight last week went viral on social media. The union says new regulations are needed to allow for the immediate dismissal of learners who attack others and endanger lives. Spokesperson Pastor Lisiba Khwele.
The prevalence of incidents of this nature is worrisome as they depict moral decay and a collapse of community values that are encroaching into the school environment.
And newly built and furnished homes have been handed over to two elderly KZN flood victims in the Ilovu area in the south of Durban. The pair was part of those affected when devastating floods ripped through parts of the province in 2022. The Human Settlements Department says while the construction of other houses is underway, it wanted the elderly to be first in line. MEC Siboniso Duma says the completion of more housing in the area will lead to the closure of the temporary residential homes.
It means that two transit camps are going to be closed as a result of the minister transferring the money and us building this. Infracombe is going to be closed, Adams is going to be closed. So it's a serious issue, which is a pinnacle of giving hope to the province of KwaZulu-Natal.
And Milan's main airport had to be partially evacuated today after a man set fire to a check-in desk and attacked the staff. According to reports, the man first started a fire in a rubbish bin and then started smashing check-in desks and information screens with a hammer. Security at the airport were finally able to overpower him and he was handcuffed and then taken away. The Lombardy Airports Association says the situation has now been brought under control. A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow, lows of between 5 and 9 degrees and highs of between 27 and 28.
Parktown still expect about a 20-minute delay through the Joburg CBD M1 South between Killarney Benz and the Crown Interchange, while in Alex travelling towards Germiston, we have about a 30-minute delay. This is on the N3 southbound between Marlborough Drive and Van Buren, and in Sunwood Park, traffic remains heavily backed up on Rondebolt Road approaching the N17.
The top story in EWN advocacy group My Vote Counts says raising the annual donation limit for political parties is a setback for transparency as well as democracy.
Bongani Bingwa, 702 Breakfast.
Weekday mornings, 6 to 9.
They say the fish rots from the head. Now that rot is reaching the tail and that whole body has been corrupted. At what point is this irreversible?
When the wound and the pain is inflicted by our own on our own, it is much deeper. Poverty has a complexion and agenda. The last 30 years, the only people who made money is the Jewish people, the Afrikaners, and the Muslim people because they've got capital.
Professor Bonang Mohale.
Bongani Bingwa, 6 to 9.
On 702.
At the heart of global conversations shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever. As Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit, Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth, partnerships, and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue and powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Unlock exciting bonus prizes when you top up your Betway account with a Betway Bucks voucher. From millions in cash and bonuses to extra bets and so much more, every top up is a chance to score big. Head over to leading retailers, including Pick n Pay, Checkers, Pep Stores, and Incredible Connection, and top up with Betway today. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 are permitted to gamble. South African Responsible Gambling Program toll-free counseling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Winners know when to stop.
James, congrats on the babies.
Yeah, thanks. It's a wild ride.
You're a new dad, 2 babies, 0 sleep, and 1 car that apparently couldn't cope.
Yeah, the hatchback was my baby, but it just didn't have enough space for my 2 new babies.
And are you happy with the price when you sold to We Buy Cars?
Very. We've even got some extra cash to splurge on one of those fancy prams that you basically need a license for.
Good luck, James. We Buy Cars. Geared for family, geared for you.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Thabo and Tim. Good afternoon. Please keep me anonymous. So I had a pet name for an ex of mine. So she had a lot of facial hair and body hair on the arms and throughout the body. So I called her Chewy. Chewy was actually short for Chewbacca. Chewbacca. That was short for Chewbacca. So I called her Chewy. So it was a pet name. We made fun of it. It was basically, it was a term of endearment, I guess.
Hey, brother Thabo. Hey, now I get so irritated when I'm called sugar pie. Sugar pie. Yo, just imagine the mess that the pie makes when you're eating it.
Yeah.
Now you're calling me a pie. Aibo.
Yeah, it means you're a nuisance. I'm kidding. It's a term of endearment. We were just asking earlier on which names do you not like being called by, especially by your partner in an intimate relationship. 20 minutes to 5 o'clock.
EWN Sport.
With Tolagele Mganga, who came clad in a new Kaizer Chiefs shirt, these new jerseys, Kaizer Chiefs jerseys. She's allowed to do that, but we're not allowed to wear political apparel in the studio. How unfair is that, Tolagele? What's on the sporting news?
It's not the same thing. One makes people happy. The other is the ANC.
Oh my, I didn't say that.
Orlando Pirates go in search of their first win in the Betway Premiership this evening when they clash with Stellenbosch. Adeslam Madu goes into the encounter wanting to ride the wave of the impressive 1-1 draw with Mamelodi Sundowns. That was in the first leg of the MTN 8 semi-final.
You know that when you don't get a result in such a big club, you can anticipate the expectation of people. I've been always giving my best with my players, focus on my job. I know the task is not easy. When you have many players, you have to find the right solution. It's what we are trying to do. We have to believe on that. I know that there is a lot of expectation.
Richards Bay are set to return home next week for their first top flight game at the Mhlantuzi Sports Complex after a 3-year-long renovations were finally completed. They'll meet Chirwa United next Tuesday and hope to put an end to their run of 4 successive defeats this season. That's 3 in the Betway Premiership and elimination from the MTN 8. Over to the Women's Rugby World Cup, which kicks off this weekend with the Springboks beginning their campaign on Sunday against Brazil. Nadine Roos has played against the South American side 4 times in the 7 series and provided this assessment ahead of the encounter.
Facing Brazil quite a few times on the 7th circuit. You win some, you lose some against them. Some very close, some were a bit further away, slipped out of our hands. But I definitely think facing them at the Rugby World Cup, it's going to be a good one. As South Africans, rugby stays rugby and we owe them one. But they're also a good side, quality players, and we'll definitely want to take this one from them.
The Bulls have confirmed that fly half Botta Chamberlain will depart Loftus Versfeld at the conclusion of the 2025 Currie Cup season. That's to join English Premiership side Newcastle. Chamberlain only joined the franchise last year following a successful stint with the Sharks and went on to make 59 appearances as he scored 150 points. And in cricket, England have announced the dates for a white ball tour of Sri Lanka in January and February next year. That will serve part of their preparations for the 2026 T20 World Cup. At the same time, Keshav Maharaj is now the number 1 ODI bowler. That's after his career best 5-for-33 in the 19-8-run first game win over the Baggy Greens yesterday. Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Mr. Charlie, how do the roads look?
Not looking too good if we are heading into Soweto. That's in the Nooitgesig area. You can expect heavy delays on the N17 westbound. That's between Nasrec Road and the Soweto Highway. Parktown, traveling through the Joburg CBD heading towards Boysens, expect about a 20-minute delay on the M1 southbound. This is between Killarney Benz and the Crown Interchange, while if you are traveling towards the Centurion area, leaving Midrand, bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is N1 northbound between the Patlu Interchange and New Road. There's also slow-moving traffic. This is coming through from Edenvale heading towards Bedford View on the R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Giluli's Interchange. Also about a 30-minute delay traveling through Alex. That's heading towards Germiston on the N3 southbound between Marlborough Drive and Van Buren. And finally in Devland, we still have those roadworks traveling into El Dorado Park. This is on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Explore the wonders of Mpumalanga. Discover the ultimate wildlife experience that brings you closer to nature. Get your adrenaline rush with endless adventure activities. Explore breathtaking 4x4 routes or hike the Blyde River Canyon, the third largest in the world. Unwind with spectacular landscapes and majestic waterfalls. Make Mpumalanga your destination of choice. Mpumalanga, embrace the unknown. Live the adventure. This message is brought to you by Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Visit mpumalanga.com for more information.
702 Podcast
on primemediaplus.com.
Thanks very much for joining us, Thabo. In for John, the team has remained the same in the absence of John. The only variation. Thanks for staying with us. We're together till 6. And Tolagele joins us in the studio, so has Karabo Charlie. And guys, I wanted to say something earlier on. I mentioned that you are wearing those new Kaizer Chiefs official jerseys that are well knit and they look very cool. And congratulations on that, Tolagele.
Thank you, Thabo.
You know, something else is coming up, right? The question that I have for both of you right now: what is it that everyone else is excited by, but it really bores you to death? Something that everyone else is excited by, like Kaizer Chiefs, but for some of us, it's really boring. It's like, what? Everyone else is going on, more security needed for Kaizer Chiefs fans, and whilst we don't even care about them. You know, just like, let me give you another example. The Kardashians. Everyone else is very hyped up about the Kardashians, but it's truly boring. One more example. I want to hear from you after this, Garo. One more example that everyone else is very thrilled about. Game of Thrones. Goodness me. Goodness me. And whilst some of us are bored by that, you wanted to say what, Garo?
Yes, I was saying, don't get me started with the Kim Kardashians and the reality shows and the housewives of whoever and whatever.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I walk in the house and there it is every single time. And they just pick.
Yeah.
Yum, 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 yum. I'm
And
like,
you don't even know these people.
like, what is the whole
Who are
point?
they? What's going on?
Do
Yo,
you
who's
know
that?
Miguel
Is he
Cardoso?
guys? Is he just
Do you
gay
know
with
these
it?
people personally? That's my only question.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
I suppose. But, I mean, isn't that boring when Garo?
What, the housewives of whatever?
Yeah.
For Tolagele, clearly she's defending it. Like for
Yeah.
women, they love it. I don't know what is it about, but women love these reality shows.
But her defense is temporal, just like Kaizer Chiefs' position on number one on the log.
And the other one is soapies. Remember Generations?
Yeah.
I just didn't get it. And like, I remember when I was in varsity, we had like this block of flats and they had a TV room.
Yeah.
8 o'clock. It was packed, Baba.
Generation.
Guys, boys. I was like, hey, my
Everyone.
gents,
Yeah, like, what's going on?
Everyone was there. And I'm like, I didn't get it. I just didn't get it.
Same here. That one thing, Tolagele, that everyone is excited about but bores you to death.
I hate to say it because it's coming up.
Yeah.
But the festival towards the end of the month. Yeah, DSTV Delicious.
What?
Really? I
That
That's
is...
you, Garabo.
No. Get out. Get out. Let's kick her out, Garabo. Let's kick her out.
Sorry.
Switch off a mic, Garabo, right now.
the first
Right
time me
now.
and Tolagele
Garabo,
agree.
switch off a mic. Please. I mean, read. That is like the mecca of all festivals. The DSTV Delicious Festival. It is the ultimate. If you miss anything else, don't miss that one. I love it to bits. I hate missing any of those.
It's better than Pirates and Kaiser Chiefs.
Much better.
he can say that because he's a Sundown supporter. Buy 5 go stadium. So those things are used to them. For me, like those kinds of things, it's just too overwhelming. There's just way too many people. When I love an outdoor event, but also like a controlled outdoor event. That's the thing. It's just too busy for me. Too many things.
And it's quite busy because on the grandstands, there are a couple of people. Right on the field itself, you have thousands and thousands singing and everyone else moving, buying food. That's the best thing ever. You are missing out. Let's go this year.
I'll take your word for it.
You must come
I already
through.
have plans. I'm so sorry.
Oh my! Then you're gonna give us your tickets. We're trying our luck. No, so we're asking you that one thing that everyone else is crazy about, but it doesn't tickle your fancy at all. It could be cigarettes, it could be food item, it could be a festival of sorts, it could be reality shows that bore some of us to death. Let us know that one thing that everyone else is excited about, but it doesn't really do it for you. 072 702 1702. That's where you can send your voice notes and your text messages. Alternatively, you can just call us on 011 883 0702. 10 minutes to 5.
702.
Let's walk the talk on 92.7
and 106 FM.
Definitely, you'd know that at this time on a Wednesday, 10 to 5, John would be speaking to certified financial planner Paul Rulofse, who has pearls of wisdom, tons and tons of those, as far as anything finance is concerned, and assisting us to try to save a little bit of a buck for tomorrow. Paul joins us right now. Paul, thanks for your time. Welcome once again.
Hello, Thabo. Great to speak to you again.
It's lovely speaking to you. And you're touching on a nerve today, I see. You might fight with a couple of our listeners because you're raising the issue of lay-by versus buy now, pay later, also known as BNPL. So there's a concept of that came up of recent that people can buy certain items right now, even if they don't have money, versus what you and I may be very familiar with back in the time, Paul, of putting a lay-by, and some people would call it a 3-month payment before you actually get an item. Please explain that for us.
Well, you see, Thabo, it's been in the news a lot lately, the last few weeks, this new wave and this new surge in the demand for buy now, pay later. And then I thought, let's go back to the old lay-by system and let's see what's really happening in the context of South African households and what they can afford and what kind of pressure points they're on. Because to me, it's really indicative of people not being in a position to afford things. And so the easier way out now is to take up a buy now, pay later plan and split down the installments, which seems to be very affordable at the time, and take the goods first. With the old lay-by system, remember, we delayed the gratification. We said to ourselves in those plans that we would wait for the goods to be delivered to us by paying for them first and then taking ownership of them. The store would hold onto them, and when the payment was full and successful, it would release the goods. With the new buy now, pay later, we take the goods off, and then we are now still liable, and we're paying for them later on. And look, it's difficult because, you know, if there are essential things that have to come into the household and households are struggling, then there is a case for it, because those essential goods are not having interest charged for them. And it makes it quite cost effective in a sense and very sustainable if you keep it contained in a budget. But my fear is that we're taking them off the shelf, paying for them later. But how many plans are households exposing themselves to? Are we just accumulating, you know, repayments, and there are penalties involved and consequences involved if you can't meet the repayments. But the spread across buy now, pay later and the surge really to me says that it's some kind of indicator that some households are struggling.
Paul, doesn't it speak to some element of financial discipline? I know I can't be a prefect of that because I also fall for some of these things every now and then, but there's something to be said about discipline in acquiring something now, using it, and later you have to pay for it where you don't even see it anymore. It might have maybe been broken or it's not in use anymore, and you don't have the motivation to truly pay for it a little bit later, and you could be trapped in some sort of a debt situation that can be somewhat untoward.
Most certainly, and that's the danger of it, Tabo. It looks so easy to take something off the shelf, not pay the full amount for it, and split the repayments into, say, 6 months, no interest. Quite a good deal, though, if you are disciplined. Because, if I can take something off the shelf right now in a store and let them wait for 6 months, keep my money in an interest-bearing account and simply just pay the installments over, I actually benefit from that. But it comes down to, as you say, discipline. And discipline it's easy to step out one day and say, look, I am going to take on this project. I'm going to maintain discipline. But you've got to see yourself right through to the end. And in buy now, pay later schemes, it's very enticing, and you can see it quite clearly in the beginning. But to your point, you've got to keep and maintain the discipline. You've got to maintain that repayment on time, all the time, every time, to take full effect of the benefit of that scheme or that plan.
What's the solution, Paul? Do you just look away? Do you commit yourself to a layby if you can afford the full price at the time? Or do you then put some sort of a plan aside and say, great, I'll get it, but I'll throw money in and save it up until it's coming up a little bit later? I'm just between the two of you, between the two of these, what's the best option to go by? I know I'm putting you in a spot.
Well, again, it's always going to come down to, can I comfortably afford it? And if I can't, and I'm borrowing money to get there, I'm running into some trouble down the road. You're literally kicking a can down the road, which you've got to face the consequences thereof down later on. So it's all about living within your means. If you can't afford it, the ideal side to your question is save first, and then buy it when you can afford it. But I'm not knocking out the buy now, pay later schemes. I think that they have relevance, but it comes with a budget to say, I'm not going to overextend myself with whatever other items I might buy, because you can go through the month and say, well, look, I'll take that one, this one, and accumulate all those repayments that you still have to, you're still obliged to pay back. And my thinking there is that if you've got a tight budget that you won't overextend yourself to, and you keep on the course and you pay back on time, and you budget, you really measure it. The old axiom comes to mind, and this is how I think we could round that one off, is that if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. You have to be very close to those kinds of schemes to see what better to.
Sure. We only have about 40 seconds remaining, Paul. I wanted to find out from you, is there a category of goods or items that could be preferably considered for pay later option?
Well, I'd say, look, if you're in the tight budget and they're essentials, well, please put them on the table first and get them into the household, because you need them first. And maybe avoid the luxury goods. The luxury goods come secondary. But still, there is a case for it, provided you've got enough money and you maintain the course of measuring that in the month to say that I can afford to pay the repayments or the installments that have been set up for me. If you can live within those, then it's a good scheme. If you're overextending yourself, you're in trouble.
Paul, always a pleasure talking to you. I always enjoy getting your insights because they help us to take better decisions. Really appreciate it. I look forward to having a chat with you again in the near future. Paul Rulofse, Certified Financial Planner, 2 minutes to 5.
702 Afternoons.
With Relebogile Maboja, 1 to 3 p.m.
If a person is wondering why can't they just go up to their HR and ask for an advance, maybe it's been done before. Is it because that for many companies it's not a standard, and maybe this setup of Pay Me Now provides a structure where it's not going to leave an employer in a fix or a bind, as well as the employee?
That's the thing, Relebogile. It takes that cash flow burden off of a company and also kind of take the subjectiveness out of doing internal advances.
Denise Neetling, Head of Marketing and Communications at Pay Me Now.
702 Afternoons.
With Relebogile Maboja.
Let's walk the talk.
The 12th edition of the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, is here. Experience unbeatable vibes this Heritage Weekend at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit on the 20th and 21st of September. On Saturday 20th, catch Don Toliver, Cuesta, Inkabi Zezwe, and more. Then on Sunday 21, don't miss the iconic Lauryn Hill on her 25th anniversary tour with special guests Wycliffe Jean, YG Mali, and Zion Mali, with Lyra, Mandisi Janchis, and Zoe Mudicha. Also performing on the Sunday, tickets at Ticketmaster, the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star and proudly supported by 702.
Do you know what's hiding behind colorful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt, and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes, and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front-of-package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front-of-package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org, by 30 September.
Dear Journal, day 3049 of trying to be an adult. I still haven't bought a recycling bin, so there's a mountain of cans in my kitchen that could collapse at any moment. Anyway, what's that saying about your home being a reflection of your mental state?
Got evicted from the family home? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's like 570 Rand a month, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
Don't miss the magical sounds of the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra's Symphony Season Concert under the baton of May N. Chen and featuring acclaimed pianist Keigo Mukawa. The program includes Saint-Saëns Piano Concerto No. 5, Schumann Symphony No. 4, and more. Thursday, 21 August at 7:30 p.m. at the Linda Auditorium. Book your tickets at Quicket to avoid disappointment.
This is EWN.
Minister Patricia de Lille dissolves the SA Tourism Board, and police inquiry looks at ways to save the taxpayer money. Good afternoon, I'm Bali Dlamini. Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille has dissolved the SA Tourism Board with immediate effect. The ministry made the announcement this afternoon. That decision comes after the body held a special meeting earlier this month where an unlawful resolution was reportedly taken. Khomotso Modise has more.
In a statement, the Tourism Ministry says members of the SA Tourism Board were informed of the minister's decision yesterday. Minister Patricia de Lille had asked for members to make written representations as to why the board should not be dissolved. She says the board failed to address the legality of a meeting held earlier this month where an unlawful resolution was made. The ministry says the Tourism Act empowers the minister to dissolve the board on good cause shown. De Lille will initiate the process of appointing a new board and will invite nominations of eligible persons. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
A decision for the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry to sit in Pretoria has been taken as a cost-effective move to save the taxpayer some money. The inquiry, looking into political interference and corruption in the criminal justice system, will begin its work on the 1st of September. It will be probing serious allegations made by KZN Police Commissioner Ntantla Mkhwanazi in July. The Department of Justice and Constitutional Development has estimated the commission will cost close to 148 million rand. Commission spokesperson Jeremy Michaels says after considering several venue options in Gauteng, the Bridget Mabandla Justice College came out tops as it came at no cost to the commission.
It really was a no-brainer because the venue is available to the commission free of charge, and so cognizant of the fact that particularly for media houses who are based in Johannesburg, it is quite inconvenient, but again, very conscious of the cost to the taxpayer.
The Eminent Persons Group to lead the national dialogue has extended an olive branch to legacy foundations who pulled out of the process. At least 6 foundations belonging to former struggle stalwarts pulled out of the National Convention dialogue last week, as well as the task team. They cited a hastily organized process which no longer offered a genuine platform for engagement. Tabiso Koba reports.
A number of legacy foundations which were involved in the conception stages of the national dialogue were due to meet today to figure out their next steps regarding the process. However, that meeting has since been postponed after the National Dialogue Eminent Persons Group invited them for a clear the air meeting. Executive Director of the FW de Klerk Foundation, Christoph van der Riede.
It's important that the legacy foundations remain committed to the national dialogue process. But this process must be properly planned, because it's one thing to express your frustrations, your anger, or your wishes, but it's another for those things that you would want to happen in the country to become a reality.
The foundation say they will consider their next steps after the meeting with the Eminent Persons Group. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
To this now, a report by the Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services has revealed that the assault of an inmate at the Johannesburg prison in 2022 was likely the main cause of his death. Dumsani Ngwenya died in hospital after sustaining serious injuries from a beating allegedly inflicted by 5 prison wardens. According to the report, the guards misled prison management by describing the incident as one that required legitimate use of minimum force. The trial of the 5 accused who are currently out on bail was meant to begin at the Johannesburg Regional Court today, but that was postponed. The late inmate's aunt, Betty Mashiro, expressed her disappointment following the proceedings.
I felt terrible when they got bail when my nephew has died. What concerns me is that these are old men with children. So do they beat their children the way they beat my child? I still want a chance to speak to them and ask them why they beat him to death.
And U.S. President Donald Trump is calling on Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook to resign. The call follows the head of the U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency urging the Department of Justice to probe Cook over alleged mortgage fraud. Cook took office as a Fed governor in May of 2022 and was reappointed to the board in September. She was sworn in later that same month for a term ending in 2038. Trump has repeatedly blasted the Fed and its chair, Jerome Powell, over benchmark rates and called for major rate cuts. Gold is trading at $3,342.81 an ounce. The rand is at 17.70 to the dollar, 23.84 to the pound, 20.62 to the euro, and Brent crude oil is at $65.79 a barrel.
There's slow-moving traffic heading into Orlando, Soweto. That's on the N17 westbound between Nasrec Road and the Soweto Highway. Parktown, you can still expect about a 20-minute delay. That's through the Joburg CBD heading towards Boysens, M1 South between Killarney Benz and the Crown Interchange.
In your sport, Orlando Pirates look to overcome their stumbling start in the Bedway Premiership. Marseille duo transfer listed after unacceptable behaviour. And Damon Dielende says the Springboks want to rectify their mistakes in their second test against Australia.
A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg dropping to overnight lows of 9 degrees, peaking at 28. Pretoria 8 and 28, and Vereeniging 5 and 27 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour: Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille has dissolved the SA Tourism Board with immediate effect.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
702.
Live
On the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7.
And 106 FM. Let's walk the talk.
5:08, Thabo in for John. Thanks for staying with us. You're on 702. It's really a privilege to have you with us. Great. More things coming up. We've got great interviews lined up. I promised you so much more. You might have heard in the EWN news that Minister Patricia de Lille has dissolved the tourism board. We want to follow that story a little bit closely and understand what is going on there. So in a short while, we will be speaking to Lawson Naidu, former member of the board, to give us some insights into the story. We have been trying to get hold of Minister de Lille to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, about this decision and its implications. A little bit earlier on, we did touch on the judgment that Mbalula was granted the gag order against Anele Mda over defamatory or false tweets. Karen Mon spoke to us. She of News 24, the legal journalist at News 24, had a chat with us about that matter. Much later on, we'll also look into the USA seeking clarity on South Africa's Iran stance, expressing great concern following the General Mapanya comments that we all know. In the meantime, feel free to send us your voice notes, your thoughts, your views to 072 702 1702. Speaking of which,
702.
WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Hi, Thabo and the listeners. No, Thabo, I'm with you there. Game of Thrones, I know. I could never understand the hype, although I actually do want to give it a chance one of these days and watch. But otherwise, they call us the 1%, the people that don't like Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, pardon me. Victoria from Pretoria.
I'm also there.
Hi, good afternoon, Thabo, 702 and team. Dogoz here from Marlborough. I was at Southgate Mall not so long ago. There's heavy police presence, National Traffic Police presence, and Metro Cops and police. At the e-hailing spot. It's chaos as the taxi owners or taxi drivers are confronting them, trying to prevent e-hailers from working. A lot of customers are affected, waiting for transport as e-hailers are scared to pick up. So yeah, I hope this ends. It's quite exhausting to be discussing this. Yeah. Thank you.
I think the thing that I really don't get that a lot of people love is bubble tea. I just don't get having weird squishy things in my drinks. Have a great show.
Thanks very much. Really appreciate it. In case you're wondering what's that all about, we asked earlier on, what is a frenzy? Something that everyone else likes except you. You find it boring, but everyone else likes it. To the second voice note, very serious, Southgate area. And I'm sure we should give it a bit of a look and some attention, especially EWN. And thanks for giving us those heads up. We really appreciate that. You are eyes and ears, as John often says. Feel free to share any information with us of this sort or other sorts. The caller was saying that the voice note was mentioning that there are a lot of police and traffic congestion around the Southgate area, especially around the e-hailing pickup spots. And probably it has to do with e-hailing drivers being confronted by other transport providers, public transport providers. We are not sure yet, so I don't want to speculate on that, but we will give it some attention, throw it to the authorities, but also we'll ask EWN to give it a gaze and tell us what is the latest. 12 minutes after 5.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Mr. Charlie, the roads, how do they look? Is it a bit busier than ever, or is it mildly slowing down?
Well, not busier than ever, and that's a bit exaggerating. It's it is peak hour traffic, not looking too bad, I must say. No accidents have been reported at this hour. However, if you're heading into Soweto, Nooit Gesig, there's slow-moving traffic on the N17 westbound between Nasrec Road and the Soweto Highway. Also, slow-moving traffic in the Parktown area heading towards Boysons. That's the M1 southbound between Killarney Bends and the Crown Interchange. Midrand traffic remains sluggish on the N1 northbound between the Butlu Interchange and New Road. While if you're traveling through Midrand, if you're traveling through Devland, we still have those roadworks. This is on the Golden Highway, slowing down traffic between the N1 and Union Avenue. In Sunwood Park, Boksburg, expect some delays on Rondebolt Road, approaching the N17. Also, traveling into Bedfordview, that's coming from Edenvale, bumper-to-bumper traffic, R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Gululis Interchange. I'll have your next Eyewitness News traffic update just after 5:30.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clever excuse number 77. I tried a new route and got lost. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsman on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsman is in traffic congestion and getting you there quickly and safely since 2005. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out, in proud partnership with 702. Show them some love online using hashtag pointsmanlove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
We've been hearing in EWN News that Tourism Minister Patricia de Lille has dissolved the SA Tourism Board with immediate effect, saying it exceeded its powers by appointing board members to carry out some of the functions of the previous chair, Professor Gregory Davids, who resigned in July. Joining us right now to give us more information on this, former board member Lawson Naidu. Lawson, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702.
Good afternoon, Thabo. Thank you so much.
Is this your understanding, especially for the reasons why the board was dissolved?
Well, we're not really sure about the reasons why the board was dissolved, Thabo. The board received a letter from the minister last week, Tuesday on the 12th of August, indicating that she was contemplating dissolving the board and asking us to provide reasons why it should not be dissolved. She alluded in that communication to the fact that the board had, subsequent to the resignation of the previous chair, taken a decision to appoint me as a representative of the board, not as the chair or even as an acting chair of the board, but simply as someone to be the spokesperson for the board. The minister took issue with that and asked us to provide reasons. All 9 members of the board provided those reasons to the minister last Thursday in quite some detail, indicating to her the lawfulness of our actions in taking that decision. We then received, having reached out to the minister to seek an engagement with her to discuss these differences. The minister did not accede to that request, and no meeting was held with the minister until we received communication from the minister last night that the board has been dissolved. The reasons given in the letter last night are somewhat different to the reasons propounded in that first letter from a week ago, in that the minister is now taking issue with the lawfulness of an alleged board meeting that took place on the 1st of August. Now, the fact is that there was no such board meeting that took place on the 1st of August. There was, however, a round-robin resolution by the remaining directors of the board, which was supported unanimously, to appoint me as that board representative or spokesperson. Both the Tourism Act and the board charter make provision for round-robin resolutions to be taken, even in the absence of a chairperson. You may also have noted a statement issued by the Institute of Directors of South Africa yesterday, in which they make the point emphatically that the simple resignation of the chairperson does not render a board dysfunctional in terms of good governance, so long as a quorum still exists and the board is then still properly constituted and is able to take decisions.
Is it your impression that after the legal advice that you sought, that the steps taken to suspend Kuliwe and call a special board meeting were unlawful? You've just said that actually there was no meeting to the effect. In absence of that, do you still feel that the minister was in the wrong?
Well, as I say, the minister's reasons, make no sense to us, as I say, because there was no meeting that was held on the 1st of August, so that is factually incorrect on the part of the minister. The board did take a decision to suspend the CEO last week. The minister was aware of this. There had been open communication. The board had followed proper procedures in terms of giving the CEO an opportunity to make representations. We considered those and proceeded with the decision to suspend, pending a full investigation into the issues. And those issues concerned, Thabo, the fact that the CEO had summarily suspended both the company secretary and the chief marketing officer, amongst other staff members at SA Tourism, amounting to a total of 5 people. The important point here is that the company secretary reports directly to the board, and the CEO is not in a position to take any action without the concurrence or at least consulting with the board, which he failed to do in this matter.
You said the letter came in last night, and I understand that you were given 48 hours to finish reasons why the board should not be dissolved.
That was last week. We were asked last week to furnish those reasons, which we did within the stipulated time. And the minister then announced the dissolution last night. And she said in her letter to us, as well as in the media statement that she issued today, that this was with immediate effect, whereas a proper reading of the Tourism Act says that the minister has a power to dissolve a board with good reason by notice in the Government Gazette. There has been no such notice in the Government Gazette.
Is it your intention to challenge the minister's stance?
The former board members we're now considering our options, and obviously that is one of the options we will consider after taking proper legal advice.
And from here, one of the steps, of course, that you would have taken would be writing either to Parliament or to the minister's boss directly.
Sorry, or to the?
Minister's boss directly, the president.
Well, we've not taken either of those decisions as yet. I think the issue is now in the public domain. The Portfolio Committee in the National Assembly can call us in, can call the minister in to seek clarity on these issues. And I certainly hope that they would do that in order to exercise proper oversight over the conduct of a member of the executive.
Lastly, Lawson, and I'll relieve you of this commitment to speak to us. Has the relationship always been this tumultuous?
Look, I have only been on the board since October last year for 7 or 8 months. We came in and it was quite a dysfunctional situation. I think the situation at SAT is a cause for concern. The board that existed until yesterday was in the process of dealing with that dysfunctionality. As I say, there are now a number of suspensions. We don't have a chief financial officer. We don't have an internal audit executive. There have been serious findings on SATs by the Auditor General that need to be dealt with, and the board was in the process of doing that. So these are deep issues that need to be resolved within the entity in order to get it up and running, to be able to play the kind of role that we all envisage tourism to play in terms of being an enabler for job creation and economic growth.
Lawson Naidu, thank you so much for your time. Lawson Naidu, former member of the board of South African Tourism, 22 minutes after 5.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Earlier on, we did say that we will be touching briefly on the matter of the U.S. seeking clarity on South Africa's Iranian stance, especially after General Mapangwa's comments that were made that side, and helping us to understand the story a little bit better. Dr. Oscar van Heerden, who is a senior research fellow in the Center for Diplomacy and Leadership at the University of Johannesburg. Dr. van Heerden, thanks for your time. Welcome to 702. Dr. Oscar van Heerden, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good day to you and good day to your listeners.
Thanks. Is the U.S. looking for another excuse? Are we going to go through the very same matters that we traversed earlier on when various allegations, unfounded allegations were made against us? Or is it this time around a little bit more substantial given that the comments were really made?
No, I don't think it is a little bit more substantial. I think it's more of the same. You would recall that in the executive order that was signed by President Trump, among other things, they also took issue with the relationship that South Africa has with Iran. So it is no surprise that the embassy and indeed the Trump administration now wants clarity. I'm not sure what clarity they are looking for because, when they use the word clarity, it sounds to me they want the South African government to apologize. And I'm not sure if that's what the South African government wants to do.
Silence or submit some form of response in order to restore some relations, however small they are at this point and however tumultuous they are at this point. What is the right step to take for the South African government?
Silence is never an option with diplomacy. You have to address the issue. The issue here is that the South African government needs to understand if they are going to succumb and or kowtow to the demands of the U.S., then they must do that. Unfortunately, it's an either-or situation. You must then do that, apologize, bow your head, submit, and be submissive and say, we are terribly sorry. Or the other side of the coin is you have to stand for your sovereignty, for your independence of your foreign policy. What the comments that was made by the general, the chief of the National Defense Force, was not necessarily supposed to be uttered by him because it is political issues that he raised, but it is not wrong for him to raise some of those issues. So you need to be very careful. Either you're going to say, we sell our sovereignty to you, the United States, because you are a bully and you are threatening us with punitive action, or actually we are going to defend our independence and our foreign policy, because the truth of the matter, Thabo, is that South Africa has had a very good relations with Iran for many, many years.
It appears that nothing can appease the U.S. at this point. Every single thing is a mountain hill to climb. Perhaps disciplinary action, consequence management against Mapanya, or simply express, as you've said, our sovereignty and our resoluteness on the matters. It appears that very little can soothe the situation.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I think it would be wrong to try and take disciplinary action against the chief of the army and of the armed forces. I really think it would be wrong. This is a moment where we need to confront the beast for what it is. And that is a foreign power who wants to get involved in the domestic affairs of our country. This is really the most important thing, because today it is remarks made by the general or the chief of the military. Tomorrow it's because we're trying to pass a particular law, or the day after that it's because we want to say something about what's happening in the DRC. Did you say where I'm going with this? Where are you going to draw the line?
Yeah.
So the South African government, I think it is posturing on the part of the presidency as well as DIRCO. It's posturing that they are now wanting to take exception to what the general said in Iran. The reality of the matter is that it was a trip that was planned long ago, devoid of the current circumstances. We didn't know that there was going to be these tensions with Trump's administration, the 30% tariffs, and so on and so forth.
Sure.
We cannot park things in abeyance because there's something happening this side.
Yes.
No, that's not how you run a country. As to whether he should have said those things because it's political, that's another debate. And the president, when he meets with the general, can perhaps just lightly and politely say, let's avoid a situation where you speak on behalf of myself as the commander-in-chief or DIRCO.
Yeah,
let it not happen again. But to take action against him for the sake of Trump, no.
We have to leave it at that, unfortunately, at that no note from Dr. Oscar van Heerden, 28 minutes after 5 o'clock.
EWN Business.
Market's looking good. Yes, no. Maybe.
No.
Stephen Rogers.
The JSE All Share Table, good afternoon, down 0.1% at 101,099 points. So financials are flat, industrials are down 0.15, resources are down 0.27, slightly lower platinum shares, really, slightly lower sort of gold prices. That's really behind it. Something going on with MAS, though. This is the East European Property Company. They are listed on the JSE. We know Prime Capital, which already has a relationship with them, is trying to buy them. They were up quite strongly yesterday. They're down 6.65% on the day. Kumba is down 5.25% as well, and then Woolies are down nearly 2.5%. DRD Gold, their shares up 1.76% on the day. Their revenue up 26% for the year to the end of June. They did produce less gold, but the main reason, of course, as we all know, is much higher gold prices. I suspect that they might invest a little bit more also in extracting gold from ore waste and tailings dams. We'll try and keep an eye on that for you. Thungela up 3.65 after their results earlier in the week. And then Investec up 2.6%. So they announced today they're going to start that share buyback scheme. They're going to spend 2.5 billion rand on buying their own shares. Basically, that'll boost the value of their shares. It is what companies do in a situation where you find that your share price, you believe, is undervalued. Vukile shares up 2% and Northam recovering nicely after yesterday. They're up 1.89%, still down on the week, of course. Stats SA confirming inflation up 3.5% for the month of July. Well, prices were up 0.9% month on month. Now, what you can't really do is strip out the impact of foot and mouth on that table. So you would want to know, because foot and mouth is sort of short-lived, sort of. So what we know then is that pushed meat prices up, that pushed food inflation up, and that had a big impact. I'm very pleased to tell you that coffee prices are finally, coffee inflation was at 17% at one point.
Yeah.
It is down, and in fact, instant coffee is down, prices went down very slightly. Yeah. And I have to tell you, if it was beef or coffee, if I had to choose between the one.
Let me guess. Let me guess. Coffee.
Yeah. I mean, is there even a question? I can start my day without beef, thanks. But no, coffee. I mean, literally, the money show is not going to happen. We can manage without.
We don't want that now, do we?
No. But yeah, so coffee prices are coming down. I would expect beef prices also, the surge, to come down, hopefully quite quickly too, but it does muddle the waters a little bit for the Monetary Policy Committee. The Nasdaq is down nearly 2%, Thabo, in the US, and I think there are a bit of concerns around I'm going to whisper this, okay? And this is not a hallucination about an AI bubble. Now, we don't know, but I think because there's so much money that's been put in, because the index is already so expensive that people are just wondering, are they actually going to get value for money out of it? So it's not really a bubble, but are they going to get value for money considering what they've put into it? The Dow Jones is down 0.15. The Nasdaq is down 1.78. The S&P 500 is down 0.94. The gold price at the moment, $3,344.73. Platinum, $1,335.34. Brent crude, $66 $66.25 a barrel. The rand to the dollar, pretty much where it was yesterday, 17.69 to the euro, 20.63 to the British pound, 23.83. On the Money Show tonight, Frans Belleni, you know him, don't you?
Of course, former unionist.
Yes, he's now the chair of the Government Employees Pension Fund.
Yeah.
He's also on the board of the, what's it called? Not the Industrial Corporation, the other one, the Development Bank.
Yeah.
The Southern African Development Bank. He's your shapeshifter tonight. And then a big focus from the start of the show on the sort of decline in earning power of the middle class, Thabo. Why it is that you have less money to spend than you thought you would have 10 or 15 years ago. And then crucially, if you're looking at what younger people earn, their situation is much worse than older people. Will they ever catch up? So lots of depressing news to come, I'm afraid.
Well, we'll be tuned in.
Yeah, on the Money Show this evening. Stephen Krutis, EWN Business.
That's one show you don't want to miss at the end of the day between 6 and 8, the Money Show. Mbali Dlamini standing by. You also don't want to miss what she has to say. Eyewitness News headlines. Afternoon, Mbali.
Thanks, Thabo. Good afternoon. The Mfuleni local municipality says its employees can now access their offices after its landlord had shut the building over unpaid rent. The municipality has confirmed that it has now settled its 2.6 million rand debt to the landlord. The embattled municipality had not paid its rent in 2 months, leaving employees unable to do their work and residents without access to municipal services. Alfara Mshwana has more.
Rand Water had attached the Mfuleni local municipality's bank accounts due to an unpaid debt of 1.7 billion rand. This led to the municipality being unable to pay rent for one of its offices, prompting the landlord to lock the building. Mfuleni spokesperson Makosonke Sangweni says the municipality has solved the issue.
We paid it his money. I mean, we're in our offices as we speak. Our account was attached by landlord, and then that's why we couldn't do any transaction on our account. That included paying for the rental to the landlord.
Last year, Eskom froze the embattled municipality's bank accounts over an outstanding 8 billion rand debt. As a result, the municipality was unable to pay its employees. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
Civil society leaders meeting under the C20 banner have hit out at the slow uptake of transformation policies by governments across the globe. The C20 is the G20 leg representing voices of civil groups, including NGOs. The group tabled its initial policy draft brief in Pretoria today. The final policy pack is expected to make recommendations on global governance, food security, financial justice, education and health. C20 chairperson Thulani Chefuta says world leaders need to pay attention to the recommendations and demands of organized civil society. He says a failure to answer calls for economic and social development will have a devastating impact on communities.
The transformation agenda is under siege. The anti-transformation voice keeps on being emboldened and organized without any shame. Equality cannot be achieved without raising the base of the marginalized people through deliberate implementation of measures that support empowerment and transformation.
To this now, the charred remains of a man have been discovered under burnt metal rubble at an informal settlement in Ekurhuleni. The Metro's Emergency Management Service was notified of the body by community members after a structure was dismantled this morning. It's understood a fire broke out at the Katlehong North informal settlement last night. According to preliminary reports, the death of the man may be linked to a mob justice attack. Ekurhuleni EMS spokesperson William Ntladi says the identity of the man has to be withheld for safety reasons.
Disaster and Emergency Management Services responded swiftly to the scene for intervention, and on arrival it was found that the shack fire had been already dismantled. The known patient who was declared dead by paramedics.
And in Portugal, a third person has been killed while helping to fight wildfires that have ravaged large parts of the region. This brings the death toll to 3, according to the country's Civil Protection Service. The man who worked for a company hired to help officials fight the fires died in an accident involving construction equipment. The wildfires are scorching Spain and Portugal, fueled by a record-breaking heat wave and drought blamed on climate change. Evacuations are ongoing. In Spain, thousands of people have been forced to flee their homes in the affected western regions. A fine Thursday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Lows of between 5 and 9 degrees and highs of between 27 and 28.
Nooit Gesig, heading into Orlando, Soweto, there's slow-moving traffic. This is on the N17 westbound between Nasrec Road and the Soweto Highway. Devland, also bumper-to-bumper traffic due to roadworks on the Golden Highway. This is between Chris Hani Road all the way to Union Avenue. And in Midrand, slow-moving traffic on the N1 northbound between the Patlu Interchange and New Road.
A top story in EWN. The Mfuleni local municipality says its employees can now access their offices after its landlord had shut the building over unpaid rent.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
On our healing hour this morning, we are healing from divorce. How are you healing from that?
Hi, Clement. I'm struck by the fact that so many men are phoning in. I wanted to say kudos to the women and the moms who do not use the children as pawns in a divorce or in a separation. I've been dating somebody whose ex-wife is a wonderful woman who has just been so upright and open to me and the relationship I have with their son. And I encourage every mother in that situation to be the bigger person, as painful as it is.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
From your first ride to your fastest, your bicycle shop keeps you moving. They're the place for expert advice, the latest gear, and repairs you can trust. Whether you're hitting the road, the trail, or just cruising through the neighborhood, they've got your back. Now's your chance to say, I see you. Vote for them as Gauteng's greatest bicycle shop at primemediaplus.com. Voting closes 27 August. Make it count, because Gauteng isn't just the hub of business. It's the home of excellence, and excellence deserves your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Let Yoko counter fuel your business to greatness. Go to yoko.com to explore the new point of sale solution, saving hundreds of businesses time and money.
This September, Joburg Theatre brings you a powerful mix of drama, music, and dance. Dancing the Death Drill, adapted from Fred Kumalo's acclaimed novel, tells the tale of Pito Mutaung, a South African soldier forever changed by the tragic sinking of the SS Mendi. The cast features Kwenzo Ngobo, Tuli Tabete, and Clint Brink, with choreography by Luyanda Sidia and original music by Msaki. This is a story of love, loss, and remembrance. Catch it from 9 to 28 September 2025 on the Mandela stage at Joburg Theatre. Dancing the Death Drill, a moment in history brought to life. Book now at joburgtheatre.com.
Every day I'm hustling. It's our reality as business owners. And it's good to know that there's someone out there who takes care of the business that makes the business. Gotta love My Way Business Insurance. Saving big on premiums with 24/7 emergency services, plus My Business Assist with marketing, legal, and labor advice services.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
EWN Sport.
With Tolagele Mganga. What's the latest, Tolagele?
Well, Thabo, we have 3 games in the Betway Premiership this evening, including Orlando Pirates at home to Stellenbosch, while Mamelodi Sundowns take on Magesi. Mbegezeli Mbogazi has impressed in his 4 games as Buccaneers vice-captain, and coach Adeslam Madu has backed the 19-year-old to be one of the greats.
When people doing good things, it's good for the mental, it's good for the self-esteem to say that he did well. This guy, if he continue to work, if he continue to be professional, if he take care about his lifestyle, everything, I think he has a great future. Because what I have seen again today, it's just unbelievable. It's performance for big clubs in Europe. And we're happy to have him on Orlando Pirates, a big club in Africa.
Marseille have transfer listed Adrian Rabault and Jonathan Rowe due to unacceptable behaviour in the dressing room following last week's Ligue 1 loss at Stade Rennes. Reports in the French media say the 2 players were involved in an extremely violent dressing room bust-up after they lost to a side who played most of that game with 10 men. Both Rabiot and Rowe arrived at the French club last year and played regularly as they finished second in Ligue 1. Switching over to the Rugby Championship, where the Springboks have made 10 changes to their starting 15 for the second match against Australia. Jesse Kriel will lead the side in the absence of the injured Siya Kolisi, while only 5 players retain their places from the 38-22 Ellis Park loss. Damien Dialende returns to the fold and is relishing the prospect of a direct battle with Wallaby star Joseph Swali.
I think he's very agile and explosive. He gets up in the air very well and very easily and very high. I think we handled that quite well last week. I've watched him a bit in rugby league and it was enjoyable to watch. He does very well to keep the ball alive, especially in contact, and that's what they do well in league as well. So for us this weekend, it'll just be making sure that we can take his space away, but take it away together, not individually. He does have not big arms but long arms, and he can get the ball out quite easily.
For Andrew Callaway, he believes that the Wallabies are finally starting to gel as they look to ensure they impress at their home World Cup in 2027.
We've got a big staff, but an extremely experienced staff. And, even with a little bit of turnover with Jeff Parling heading off to Leicester, you lose an experienced guy like that and you gain another one in SAS. So that's been fantastic. And I mentioned the strategy and the tactics just prior. Add into that guys like Whitey and Rabs who can add a lot of value there. But then underneath that, within the team, there's this really strong core group of guys who've been around for a little while.
Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. Garabo Charlie will give us the very latest. I won't exaggerate the amount of traffic this time. How does it look? High, mild, or low?
It is very high if you are heading into the Soweto area. This is Nooit Gesig on the N17 westbound between Nasrec Road and the Soweto Highway. Not yet clear what's causing this delay. Pretty unusual at this time of the day. Please, if you are on that route, let me know. You can WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702. We are also on X at EWN Traffic. Parktown traffic remains sluggish. This is driving through the Joburg CBD M1 South between Killarney Bends and the Crown Interchange. Midrand also slow moving traffic. This is N1 northbound between the Baclu Interchange and New Road. In Devland, there's bumper-to-bumper traffic. This is on the Golden Highway between the N1 and Union Avenue due to ongoing roadworks. And finally in Sunwood Park, Boksburg, expect some delays. This is on Rondebolt Road approaching the N17. I'll have your next Eyewitness News traffic update just after 6.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car full of groceries and a lady who will be attempting to make her mother-in-law's famous recipe for the family dinner tonight.
5 mils of sugar.
The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's butterflies and a potential bonding moment. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702 Podcast
On PrimeMediaPlus.com.
If it wasn't illegal, I was going to record for you some of the things that take place, conversations that take place as we prepare the show and when the microphones are off. I was going to do that. It's unfortunately that it's illegal and it will get me out of this place that I love so much. And so I was just sharing with our colleagues earlier on as we were thinking about the song to play at this time. As you would know, around about this time, John plays a song and it's appropriately themed. We come up with a theme and we ask you to partake in that theme. So you can do so on 072-702-1702. I was laughing and referring to that conversation because I would have wanted you to hear Jonathan Fairbairn sing I Love You Daddy. It's just something else. I was so tempted to record him singing I Love You Daddy. And later on, guess who? Refuwe joined him in singing of I Love You Daddy. And why am I mentioning that, Refuwe? What kind of songs are we looking at this afternoon?
So we're looking at songs from child stars, right?
Yeah.
And one of the songs is I Love You Daddy by Ricardo, the late Ricardo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those little boys and girls who had amazing careers, who gave us beautiful music.
Correct.
And looking back, and those are the songs that we're looking for today.
Absolutely. Can I sing what Jonathan was trying to say?
Yeah, please. Give us a tune. Give us a tune of your best. And ladies and gentlemen, you can record it on my behalf because it's illegal for me to record this beautiful singing. Refilo, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Daddy, oh daddy, you know how much I love you. Na 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 na, stop crying. I love you, daddy. There we go. Not like that, but I feel like I got inspired midway.
Listen.
But it wasn't Jonathan completely, but I had to put a bit of Aramid in that.
Well, for you, a Grammy. You did it.
Come on, somebody.
You did it. You in a wrong space. Your talent is wasted on radio. Girl, you should be on Idols doing your thing.
I'm there, Thabo.
Please.
Karaba, I hope you heard.
South African music producers, promoters, did you hear that quality?
Daddy.
That quality.
There we go.
So please indulge us. Your favorite child star song, a song sung by a child star. Feel free to share that with us and then we'll play it for you. For now, Ricardo, remember how young he was when he sang this one? I think he was from Eldos, if I'm not mistaken. Ricardo, I love you, Daddy. Yeah, I mean, that's a young Ricardo Ben, and we're playing songs from child stars when they were just little teeny-weeny kids, and they were giving us some good music. Do you know any music like that you loved from child stars? Let us know, and we'll try to find that song for you. Send your voice notes. Perhaps it triggers a certain memory for you, music by child stars, and send your voice notes to 072 702 1702. 10 to 6.
When you vote in Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko, you don't just support a business, you help rewrite its future.
Winning Gauteng's greatest, powered by Yoko, impacted our business in quite a few ways. And for our business, which is a family business, which was actually originally established in KZN, it was so important in establishing ourselves in Gauteng with our second location, which many people didn't even know. Of course, yes, I would encourage people to vote for their favorite establishment. It's really not hard to do, to just quickly go to Primedia Plus to cast your vote.
Winning Gauteng's greatest, powered by Yoko, has helped us to get that kind of public recognition, but this now gives that recognition to the staff who put in all that time and effort to give our customers the greatest pizza available. On behalf of us at Delta Cafe, I would strongly encourage all the listeners to go to Prime Media Plus and cast their votes.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Your vote is more than a click. It could be a game changer for your favorite local business. Vote now on primediaplus.com.
On 20 and 21 September, the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, brings you the flavor, the music, and the vibe with international stars, SA's top performers, delicious food from local artisans, and fashion that turns heads. It's the ultimate heritage weekend experience. Gather your friends on Saturday and make it a family picnic day on Sunday. Join the interactive cooking demos, explore the vibrant art, and celebrate 30 years of DSTV bringing entertainment to Africa. One ticket gives you access to it all. Visit ticketmaster.co.za with more on deliciousfestival.com.
My friend always says, not my problem, bro. But what if it was your sister, your mother, your daughter? Gender-based violence is everyone's problem. And good men don't look away. If you see abuse, don't be silent. Report it. Call the SA Police on 10111 or the GBVF Command Center on 0800 428 428. Strong men protect. Strong women stand up. Together, we can end gender-based violence and femicide. Break the vicious cycle. Act now. A message from Government Communications, the GCIS.
Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
702. WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
Sabo, Michael Jackson and his brothers. I think when he was young, there was a hit single that stayed on the Billboard for quite a number of weeks. I'll Be There, and that song is going to be sang by your Mariah Carey and quite a number of artists. That has always been my childhood song. And Michael Jackson sang that song when he was still very, very young.
I mean, it stayed on the charts for quite some time, and the peak it reached was position 4. The Jackson 5, I'll Be There. And the reason we're playing this music is because we're reflecting on the music by child stars. And we still have more. Please keep sending them on 011-883-0702. That's if you want to call. Alternatively, your voice notes on 072 702 1702.
Hey, Tabo and Tim. Buntu here. My favorite child star song, which I used to bump when I was a kid, is Jump by Criss Cross.
Remember this one? Yeah, crisscross. I think they were twins or something. Anywho, coming back home, you'd remember that we had brilliant child stars. It was Msawawa and Mzambia, I think, at some point. And there was Bonsai and Nimrod behind them and pushing them and giving them some good music. What was the song, Karabo? Was it Bibo? Yeah, Bibo again. 072702 1702. We didn't do badly at all in South Africa with producing child stars, did we? Well, let's go to a voice note on 072 702 1702.
Good afternoon, 702. Child stars, eh? I cannot forget Amaponi. Their song Cheeky Like Lie. I used to love that song. Even today, I still love it for some reason. Amaponi Cheeky Like Lie.
I must say, I couldn't recognize this one. It threw me off completely until Notemba told me about it, that there was a family and then they produced it. I was lost completely, and Stephen is enjoying it so much. Your favorite tune, Steve?
Well, it brings back certain memories.
Well, thanks very much for joining us. I loved every second of it. Thanks to the team. Money Show next.
And now, The Money Show.
With Stephen Grootes, live on 92.7 and 106 FM. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And DSTV channel 856.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by ABSA CIB, backing the Ideas Fund by advancing capital to African infrastructure investment managers. Good evening. On Your Money Show tonight, a special focus this evening on how much poorer you've become over the last 20 years. As more and more evidence shows, the spending power of your salary has got weaker, and that this process may continue for younger people.